Hey, family. Apologies. I just found out that my phone was about to die, so I had to jump up during the countdown to grab my charger. It is so good to see y'all. Ooh, child. So, a reason why I had to go live today, because I'm still recovering from our live about I almost said the Tinder swindler, the Danish deception. To whoever convinced me, actually it was several of you who convinced me to do the Danish deception. Oh, I'm a little shiny today. Child, I have been taping all day. But to whoever made me do the Danish deception, that was a labor of love. Can we all admit? Because I sent it to my sister and she was like, oh, 5 hours and 33 minutes, child. Like, I'm gonna have to make sure I have the energy to watch that. And I was like, you're gonna have to make sure you have the energy to watch it. I had to find the energy to tape it. Okay. I have to find the energy to tape it. I want to give a shout out to Carlos King and Mouse Jones. We just taped a new episode of Reality with the King that will be out on Friday. I don't know. I think it might also be on Patreon. I think I might be a Patreon co-host for Carlos. So I don't know if it's on the main grid or if it's on the Patreon, but it was such a great episode. I will say this. Carlos and Mouse, we were talking about not about all the sexes, but Candy and Todd, and even like Kendu and Mary J. Blige, Greg and Nene. Just what is it like when a man marries a woman who is above his means? Does that make sense? What happens when a man marries a woman who's above his needs? And you know what's interesting is, and I'm sorry, I'm like touching my hair because I just washed it this morning, so it's very soft. But like, the idea of marrying up or marrying down can be tricky. You're saying you love Mouse. I now love Mouse too. Mouse was so amazing. And what's wild is Mouse is friends with Bridget and Cheech. And so I've heard about him for years. I didn't realize that he was one of the people behind Trap Karaoke. I've been wanting to go to Trap Karaoke for years. In fact, I was invited to go at the beginning of the month and couldn't because life was lifing. But Mouse and Carlos were so evolved, right? A gay man and a straight man, both of them so evolved in the way that we were talking about money and masculinity and marriage and men and women and how they deal with each other. And it just lit a fire underneath me. What I realized is, even when you're dealing with people professionally or platonically, it always gets me excited when the universe sends me a reminder that emotionally evolved men exist. For those who are fighting their way through cuffing season, you know what I'm talking about. Like, anytime that I am reminded that men who are psychologically safe exist, it does something to me to have. I mean, I think that all the time, but to have it confirmed, it always makes me tingle with like relief. Steph says here, let's see, thank you for the 5-hour live. It was very comforting to listen to while I cleaned my house and did some organizing. I'm happy because it knocked me out. I took a 10-hour nap. Because I had to do the 5-hour live plus a 3.5-hour tarot workshop. Remember, for those who are in the members area, we teach people how to read their own tarot cards, right? And to do that 3-hour class right after a 5.5-hour live, I passed out and woke up very late in the day on Monday. Thank God I didn't have any early morning meetings. And tomorrow I'm having dental work done. I don't want to say I'm nervous, but I am not a fan of dentists. And dentists are the one thing that make my anxiety completely skyrocket. And I had my first anxiety attack that I've had in 7 years back in February. So I've been really cautious around anything that could trigger my anxiety since that panic attack in February. So this will be my first time going to the dentist since that. So I'm trying to take it easy tonight. I'm probably gonna just like go to bed really, really early because my surgery is at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Please send me good juju. I rebuke any other juju but good juju during my dental surgery. Thank you for feeding us. It's hilarious. 5.5 hours just feeding y'all. That is wild. That's wild that you guys call that being fed. It was a smorgasbord. And I'm happy you guys feel fed because after today, I want to go live on Friday to talk about the not the German deception, the Danish deception. It's all going to depend on how fast I'm healing from my dental work. Because Wednesday I'm getting dental work done in the morning, and then Thursday Mike and I are driving somewhere for Thanksgiving. Because Mike is like my Haitian play cousin child. When he said we going somewhere for Thanksgiving, I'm just getting in the car. I didn't ask no questions. All I know is I got to buy a pie to do my part. Oh, that reminds me, I have to buy a pie tomorrow. Fuck, I have to get surgery and buy a pie. So overwhelming. Anyways, the Dance Deception Live will be on Friday if my mouth will let me, pause, and Saturday if I need a little bit more healing. But I will let you guys know as usual. But yeah, guys, talking to Carlton Mouse, I was so energized that the minute the taping was over, I sent Mouse a message saying, "You are amazing." Like, and ladies, can we get in the habit of whenever you are around masculine energy that is amazing to call it out? Because I think being a good man is a reward in itself. You should be doing it for your own integrity. And though it's always nice to hear when someone recognizes that your attempts to be a good man have panned out. I always make it a point that whenever I'm around a man who makes me feel safe and I'm impressed with their intellect and their psychological safety, that I call it out. Don't be one of them stingy betties, okay? So anyways, yeah, if that episode comes out in the main page for Carlos, great. If it's behind the paywall, I mean, still great. And he's probably going to put out a clip. Anyways, guys, let's pivot away from the Danish deception and gender wars for a second. And Todd and Candy, I can already tell that I'm going to do another live around Todd and Candy when we get more information. And I feel like for several reasons, it's going to be behind the paywall. I don't know when it's going to happen. I'm waiting to hear more. We've all now started to see those clips of Todd's podcast. Thank you for the thoughts and prayers, my love. Yeah, we I'm gonna keep it respectful. I will say though, in the live, I mentioned that even though I'm giving Todd the side eye for lots of obvious reasons, the one mistake that I've always believed that Candy made, and we all learn from our mistakes, right? So this is not me chastising her or trying to dogpile on what she's going through, but as a woman who is of a certain age, and by when I say a certain age, I just mean over 35, child. And the reason I say over 35 is y'all might not know this, but when you're neurodivergent, your frontal lobe sometimes takes longer to congeal. People who are neurodiverse, you know how they always say your frontal lobe is, congealed around 26? We sometimes take a full decade longer. So for some people who are neurodiverse, 35 is your 26. So I always say of a certain age, I mean over 35. It means whether you autistic, have dyslexia or ADHD or not, by 35, all of our frontal lobes have completely finished doing their due. And when you're a woman of a certain age, I'm going to say this as kind as I can think, you are really excited about being in a relationship because you understand. Look at all of y'all being shocked that your frontal lobes might not be completely congealed at 33. They might not be. We're neurodiverse. Our brains are working a little bit different. But when you are a woman of a certain age and you've worked really hard to get where you're going and you meet a man that you care about, you're thinking, as long as I am standing by my man, I have his back. What a lot of people don't realize, and this is actually gender neutral, but I'm talking to the ladies in general, and in particular, I should say, who are going to relate with Candy. The fact that you love your man or your partner, shout out to the LGBTQI plus community. How you doing? But whenever you're protecting your partner, particularly if your partner identifies as masculine of center, right? One thing that we have to recognize that we need to give that we often ask for is that your ecosystem cannot be allowed to talk shit about your man. We constantly joke about this is a scheme that Todd set up, right? And it's a funny joke. And Mama Joyce might have been right. But I have always felt that is incredibly disrespectful to allow your ecosystem to talk shit about your partner. That's a hill that I will die on. And that's a lesson that I hope that Candy, hopefully through therapy, will learn. I refuse to date any human being. I don't give a fuck how tall you are, how big your dick is, how much money you have. I refuse to date anybody on this planet. Anybody. No, Gia, I know it was her auntie, but the reason why her auntie felt comfortable saying it is because Miss Joyce had been chastising Todd for years. The ecosystem that Joyce created is why the aunt felt comfortable saying it, which is what I'm talking about. Taking responsibility for giving people permission to talk shit. I don't care about who's talking shit. I care about who gave the permission. When I am in a relationship of any sort, even if I'm just talking to somebody casually, my friends have been told repeatedly, even if you don't like him, you still have to be respectful of him when you talk about him to me. That's a rule that I've had because it's the rule that I expect, and I'm not a fucking hypocrite, right? All human beings can have moments of hypocrisy, but being a hypocrite is not a defining character trait for me. And so, ladies, stop feeling like they have your back when the people in your life are talking shit about your man just because you're mad at him on Tuesday. Because on Thursday when y'all make up, you still violated that man. Respectfully, right? And there's some things that only Black women can say to other Black women. I know that we don't know what it's like to feel protected because in the words of Malcolm X, there's no group that is more disparaged than Black women. I get that. And one of the things that Bridget said to me a couple of years ago that really made my personality click for me, she was like, Blue, one of the things I love about you is that you never do something to someone else that you would not have somebody do to you. I can always trust your integrity because if you give me space, that's because you're going to expect space, right? If you give me grace, it's because you expect grace. And she's right. I don't do shit to people that I wouldn't want done to me. If I would flip a table, if you did it to me, I wouldn't even consider doing it to you. And so, because I've taken the golden rule so literally, shout out to the TISM, I could not date a man whose best friends, mother, sister, co-workers feel comfortable talking crazy about me. And yet, because we feel so unsupported, a lot of times when our friends and family talk crazy about people that we're dating, we almost mistake that for support, not recognizing that it's also us being complicit in disrespect. And the fact that this man has been a punchline for 14 years, even though I've seen his fragile masculinity with my own eyes on screen, even though I'm completely clear that money did play a factor in what's going on in the relationship, because again, we saw with our own eyes, right? Even though I know that a Leo man who's unevolved and feels like he's living in your shadow can be a little bit of a bad bitch. I know all these things, and still, me and Icky were not even in a relationship. We were just talking, and all my friends knew they couldn't talk shit about him. The courtesy that I gave to a fuckboy who wasted my time for 3 months, we did not see Candy give enough of to the man who she would end up marrying and having children with. And so I'm not disparaging her. I'm not blaming her, but this is an opportunity for growth. We cannot ask our partners to keep us safe while we're complicit in them being punchlines. Those homegirls who'll be like, girl, if he don't like you, then fuck him. He's stupid. No, he might not be stupid. He might just be a decent nigga who doesn't want me. I've lost friends with women who got mad at me because I wouldn't allow them to talk shit as a bonding ritual. If I care about him, then bitch, I care about him. Does that make sense? Can we all just admit that? Can we all take accountability on both sides? Because honestly, guys, we make fun of Leos all the time on here because Leo men can be funny. And so can Leo women. Shout out to J-Lo. She's on some other shit, right? Leos who are unevolved are just ripe for the picking. I get it. And what you normalize is what you allow to grow. And I will keep saying this. The song of the summer, aside from Nothing Beats a Jet 2 Holiday, this is a scheme that Todd set up. And I can't imagine laying down and making life with a man who directly or indirectly, because of my lack of setting a boundary and enforcing with my family, has now become an international punchline. Again, I'm very clear that Todd probably showed his ass, right? And also, I will give Candy credit. She does not speak ill of Todd, but not speaking ill of someone is only half the battle. Allowing others to do so without giving them fucking hell immediately is also the other half. She eventually did it, but by the time she did it, the train had already left the station. All right? So you guys know I'm not a pick me, and I will still speak up on behalf of men when it's just regular human shit that I would expect as a woman. That's probably one of my favorite things that came from that conversation with Mouse and Carlos, is that we all agreed, a pansexual woman, a straight man, and a gay man. We all sat down and agreed that you have to be clear that if your partner is not safe, the relationship is compromised. All right, enough of that speech. All right, let's get into Real Housewives of Potomac. Speaking of husbands and safety, I was not gonna do. And guys, sorry, I have a little bit of an allergy that's happening. I feel like there's something. Oh, where's my Q-tip? I usually have my little Wendy Williams Q-tip, but I think I left it in the other room. But I did not plan on talking about Real Housewives until the end of the season because there was so much going on. I was like, you know what? Let me wait until the season is over. However, two things happen. Number one, if you tell me that a big tittied, hourglass shape woman with a big curly head of hair and a sexy husband and a beautiful house was gonna be on one of the housewives, I'm like, well, clearly that's gonna be my favorite because it's giving we kindred, right? It's giving, oh my God, look at us, right? I was prepared to stand for Angel. Okay, she's built like me, which is why, please, Angel, I love you because we're built exactly the same way, titties and all. Get some better bras, baby. Watching you spill I'm a G cup. My breast is still in my shirt. Watching you spill all over the place, if I was ever on television. Oh, for the person who's saying Lane Bryant is cool. Y'all know Lane Bryant bras are the exact same bras as Victoria's Secret. Same manufacturers. It's just a continuation of the range. So a Lane Bryant bra and a Victoria's Secret bra are the exact same thing. As a heavy tittied bitch, it hurt me to see you spilling all over the fucking screen. But I was not gonna do the respectability politics thing of just because you got titties spilling to your kneecaps all over the place that I was gonna judge you. So that's not why I was judging you. It bothered me, it irked me, because it was like I was feeling sympathy pains. Every time I would see Angel on the screen, I would tug at my own titties for like sympathy pains. So I wasn't judging you for that. I was sympathizing because I know it can be hard. Maybe not wear so many dresses with spaghetti straps. Maybe those aren't meant for us, okay? But and the big titty girls know that I'm saying this from a place of love. But what I will say is, aside from her titties spilling all over the place, I was still prepared to stand. And then Angel, and also Keiarna. I'm a face queen. I'm gonna tell you right now, butterheads, butterfaces, whatever y'all call it. I cannot stand a butterhead. If you got a banging ass Sierra ass body and you ugly in the face from the neck up, no, I do not believe that all God's children are beautiful. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I don't. I'm a Taurus. Tauruses and Libras. If a Taurus or a Libra tells you they think you're pretty and you know you're not pretty, they lie to you because they're worried. We're face sensitive is what I call it. Okay, we're sensitive to things that we perceive to be ugly. Matter of opinion, not fact. Right? Y'all can think I'm ugly. I don't give a fuck. I'm just telling you, I don't have any ugly friends. And be clear, when I say I don't have any ugly friends, I don't mean, oh, I only hang out with bad bitches. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there is a spirit that a woman who feels ugly carries that I can't work with. Perfect example is Angel. Angel is an attractive woman, but she moves like an ugly bitch. She moves like she does not like herself. She cries about not liking herself. She talks about thinking that her looks are her currency and X, Y, and Z. And I can't do that. I'm not the friend to call up when you're convinced you're ugly and that my entire job is making you feel pretty. I'm not going to sit there like Viola fucking Davis at my big age talking about, you sure is kind, you sure is pretty. Bitch, you are 42. At some point, go talk to the lady. Right? People who make it the responsibility of everybody in their ecosystem to tell them they're cute, I can't do it. I'm gonna hold your hand. I'm not gonna hold your hand when I say this. Your hands look sticky, right? So the fact that Angel can't find a good bra, keeps crying about feeling ugly, and is now moving in a way that I am remiss and hesitant, but almost feel compelled to say is steeped in colorism. Ugh. Baby, you were supposed to be the sexy big titty Curvy girl. Like I was supposed to come on here and say, Angel, get behind me. Angel, why'd you ruin it for us? You were the closest I had to be. Oh. Anyway, child, let's get into the show. For those who don't know who Stacey and Keiarna are, are two attractive women who act like they're ugly on the inside. Okay? Let me pull up a picture of them because they're beautiful. They're smart. Did I mention they're beautiful? I hate it when attractive people become ugly bitches. Like it irks me. Ugh, let me breathe. All right. Let's pull up a picture of them because you guys know the way that I do the show is I do the show that if you watch the things that I'm talking about, yay, I'm enhancing the experience for you. And if you've never heard of any of these motherfuckers, you can still come on the ride, right? Somebody said colorism on the Real House of the brown paper bag test. No, I know. Here's the thing, guys. I'm one of those people who, because everybody calls colorism, I'm always like, are we sure? Not because I'm a denier, but because I always want to make sure that we're not misapplying it so that we don't take the oomph out of it for when it actually applies, right? Sometimes y'all will see a girl who got a tan and is very bad person and happens to be dark skinned, just be an asshole and be like colorism. You're like, no, she's just a bitch. It's not colorism. She's a bitch, right? And then there'll be times where you'll be like, oh no, that's 100% colorism, right? And so because we kind of smear colorism on everything like fucking maple syrup, I'm always protective that we only apply it when it makes sense so the audience doesn't go deaf from all the false alarms, right? And yes, Gio, you're right. The Potomac is the worst offender. And you know what it is too? I think because I might be a little colorblind, the colorism conversation is one that I have very unemotionally. When I talk about colorism, and y'all shut up about this part. As a dark-skinned Black woman, when I talk about colorism, there is a pain that people think that I'm going to have that I don't. When for me, colorism is a purely academic activity. I have never felt unattractive because of my color. And I think a part of that is because I'm my father's 7th child. The first 6 children he had are all Dominican and Cuban. I'm Haitian and Cuban, they're Dominican and Cuban. I already know I look like light skin. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to talk shit about my siblings. Just know that I don't need to look like a raw chicken iteration of myself. I really like my melanin. So for me, colorism actually isn't a personal, emotional thing. Whatever the fuck this color is, I like it, right? And so because it's academic for me, I think that's why I'm always seeing myself as somebody who has the responsibility of being objective about it because I'm dark enough to not be called dismissive, but I'm not in enough pain to be called emotional. Does that make sense? When it comes to colorism, I have the street cred in theory. Yes? So what did I do, y'all? Somebody said, let her be dark skin. Y'all don't do this. We're not doing this, okay? Let me be a tar baby in peace. Thank you. So, like I was saying, as a dark-skinned motherfucker, right? As Wesley D. fucking Snipes, I am very hesitant to use the colorism card. And I'm gonna hate to say it. It wasn't until episode like 7, I was like, oh, fuck, this is colorism. Damn. We're gonna have to talk about this, right? Yes. Okay, y'all don't understand. This is for political reasons that I think that all Black people should see themselves as Black as possible. That's just how I feel about it. So, let's talk about who these ladies are. Let's pull up these beautiful women who act ugly as fuck. How gorgeous are these people? How gorgeous are they before they open their mouths? Can we be fucking honest? Can we be honest? Right? The fact that Angel is a fellow big-tittied, curvy-bodied bitch trying to live the high life in the DMV area, hello, that's all me. How dare you? How dare you be this ugly on the inside, Angel? I feel like Tyra Banks. I was rooting for you. Ugh. Yeah, so let's talk about why these two pretty bitches are ugly mean girls who need to sit down somewhere. Let's get into it. Their face cards might not decline, but everything else does, unfortunately, right? Because Keiarna, baby. Keiarna is... There's a video of her on Twitter, let me find it, of Keiarna being a complete fucking bitch in the face to somebody. And she's so fucking beautiful, it just comes off as fierce. You know you a bad bitch when you're being an asshole and it looks good. Where are my bookmarks? Hold on. Let me pull up my bookmarks real quick to see if I can find the video of Keiarna Damn, I bookmark a lot of shit. Y'all are the reason I be bookmarking so much stuff, though. I think I've spoiled y'all with receipts, and so if I see anything that is even mildly, mind you, the whole time I'm talking, I'm scrolling right now through my bookmarks. If I see anything that is even mildly receipt adjacent, I immediately start saving it. Oh wow, looking at these bookmarks are making me realize all the lives that I was gonna do, but I can't do everything. Here it goes. Oof. All right, let me share this tab. Can y'all see this screen? All right, I'm about to make myself small because I want y'all to see this. Hold on. Child, not me trying to fight with the buttons. All right. So this is the screen, right? And this is Keiarna's mother. Bitch, this is her mother. Her mother. Keiarna's was a bad bitch, like as a legacy. Like she comes from a long line of bad bitches. Okay? So this is Keiarna's mother. Let me show you how gorgeous this woman looks even when she's being a mean girl. Look at this. That man asks her a question and she looks like she wants to beat his ass. Gorgeous. I'm sorry, I'm Taurus ruled by Venus, okay? I cannot pretend a bitch is ugly when she's not until she starts talking. You're like, oh, fuck, you are a little ugly on the inside, damn it. So, guys, now that y'all know that I was supposed to stand for Keiarna and Angel, for those who don't know anything about the show, last season, Keiarna came on the show and there was a thing that happened with Ashley Darby, forehead. Ashley Darby had a very weird friend who got into a fisticuffs of sort with one of the girls, and Keiarna ended up getting her face sliced in the melee, right? Glasses were broken, and a piece of glass or something hit Keiarna in the face. I'm going to tell you right now, you throw some glass in the pretty bitch's face, she's never going to forgive you. Somebody said, that motherfucker is, oh, she's beautiful. You think you wouldn't care? If you watch the season, you're going to care. It's like meeting a really attractive man and he keeps talking and he suddenly gets ugly the more he talks. I promise you, as pretty as she isn't pretty enough to make up for her personality this season. I promise you. Because I'm shallow enough where it might have worked on me and it didn't, right? So a previous season, one of Ashley's friends gets into a fisticuffs that ends up with Keiarna having glass fly into her face. That same season, Karen Huger gets arrested for, sipping and driving, all right? The Grand Dame of Potomac, for those who don't know the show at all and who are still watching. So Karen gets into trouble because of her DUI, a reoccurrence of DUIs. It was several DUIs, right? In the midst of this season, the person who has Karen's back the most is Wendy. Yes, that Wendy Osefo with the 40 aliases and Pam Oliver and Eddie Hennessy, that Wendy. Wendy held Karen down when nobody would. Everybody, damn, 4 DUIs. Damn, it was 4? Fuck. That's a lot of DUIs. Anyways, so while Karen's out here sipping and driving, the only person who has her back is Wendy, because Wendy recognizes that when she first came on the show, she was only less than a year postpartum. She was struggling with her new body. She's on this show full of colorist people, allegedly. The green-eyed bandits, Giselle and Robin, are attacking her left and right. The audience is calling her ugly because y'all call anybody who looks black ugly, right? And I'm being intentional. Anybody with blatantly, traditionally black, i.e. African features, y'all call ugly on sight. And Wendy is not an ugly woman, okay? So you're being called ugly 5 minutes after you had a baby. The stars of the show are attacking you and hazing you because they haze everybody. Nobody has your back except for Karen. So when Karen is going through something, Wendy's thinking, I'm going to have your back, right? You have my back, I'm going to have yours. So imagine how devastated she is, Wendy, when one of the girls tell her, I think it might have been Stacy, so check it. I know you love Wendy and you keep on defending her to the group despite her long list of DUIs. But Wendy told me when I came on the show to watch out for you. Wendy told me that you a sedity motherfucker and to watch out for you. And here's the thing about Wendy. I love Wendy, and I've always feared that she might be a covert colorist because she's very Jack and Jill. And that's not a jab at Jack and Jill, but y'all know that a woman over 60, well, maybe she's in her 50s. Let me not age the lady. Karen has a new face. So I don't know how old she is. But a woman over 50-something who is pale complected in the DMV area, who calls herself the Grand Dame. There's a lot of old school colorism coded and wrapped in new school lace fronts. That is a heavy probability, regardless of how her character might seem to everybody. So the fact that Wendy is thinking that her and Karen are cool, but Karen is saying dog whistles like she's full of herself, right? Her and her 4 degrees. And Wendy is a proud Nigerian woman who constantly talks about her 4 degrees. So there's a little bit of truth in that. But to smile on this woman's face and let her have your back and then talk shit about her to other girls, I was like, oh man, please, Karen, don't be colorist. I know because of your age and where you live and the time and place that you're from. She is over 60. Well, shit, she looks the fuck good. Child, a lot of these girls look good. Even Giselle looks good as long as you don't look at her outfits. So when Wendy finds this out, Wendy is devastated. And Karen pulls a Karen. For those of you who are regulars here, pulling a Karen, i.e. being a Karen, is what we call Darvo, where you are caught causing harm and you somehow end up playing the victim rather than apologizing. You switch places with the victim and act like you've been victimized just for being called out. So Karen, very unironically, pulls a Karen, where now she's mad at Wendy for Wendy being mad at her for finding out that she was talking shit about her. Weird behavior. Karen goes to jail, right? Karen goes right on to jail. And my first thought was, when you pretend you love somebody but talk shit behind their back about how they're full of themselves, and the minute they have the audacity to be hurt by your behavior, you act as if, how dare they? And I think you might be a little colorist on the DL. Oh, Karen, please say it ain't so. The moment that I knew that Karen might be who I feared she was during the reunion where they zoomed her in because she wasn't there. But they had a message from her, a pre-recorded message. And in the message, Karen, what do you mean, do I mean Karen? Did I not say Karen? Oh, okay. I thought I said Karen. And Karen makes the point to shout out everybody on that stage except for Wendy. That's nasty work. The fact that I was taking bullets for you, defending you to other bitches, right? Taking bullets, defending you to other women who have been attacking me, that if I was a pick-me, I could have been kissing their asses to get on their good side. But instead, I was on the battlefield defending you. And now I'm the only one who doesn't get a shout out simply because I had the audacity to be hurt that you were talking shit about me. Karen lost me at that moment. So fast forward to season 10, this season. One of the things, and I posted a video about somebody else who shared this theory, because you guys know, whenever I have a theory, I go scraping for the internet to see, God, is there anybody else who agrees with me? Because I be having some unpopular theories at first, and then eventually y'all be like, oh, you might have been right. You know what I mean, right? I found one young lady who actually agrees with me, who's going to explain it deeper. I'm going to let her explain it. I don't want to ruin it. But anyways, Keiarna shows up this season for some reason hating Wendy. Hating Wendy for no reason. And I suspect that the reason why Keiarna doesn't like Wendy is because Karen is known to take the new girls under their wing. I do believe that because Karen is the Grand Dame. Karen is the Grand Dame, and Karen no longer likes Wendy. I do believe that if Keiarna and Karen are close, there might have been some shit talking that happened with Karen. And in Keiarna's mind, I'm considered the bottom of the totem pole on this show. The lady who's at the very top of the totem pole, she was driving while gagging down Hennessy and God knows what else, and the audience still loves her. Problematic, but true. If she don't like you, Wendy, bitch, I don't fucking like you. Now Keiarna comes on the show this season out of nowhere with all this animosity for Wendy, whose only sin is not being okay with her friend talking shit about her. Am I catching y'all up? So Wendy's like, 50 Cent, like, what you mean fuck 50? You and I didn't have no beef. Why are you being weird to me? And Keiarna this season shows, Karen is 62? Oh, shit. Keiarna this season, we're just going to call her Kay, because that's a very, I don't want to get the names mixed up. Kay shows up this season with a chip on her shoulder against Wendy that nobody can understand, although I believe it's because of Karen. And now she has her friend Angel with her, right? Big titty, juicy wag. For those who don't know, a wag is a wife or girlfriend of a footballer In the UK, a wag is a wife and girlfriend of a soccer player, because they call football soccer over there. And in America, a wag is someone who's a wife or girlfriend of somebody in the NFL. So here comes this big juicy bitch that I was prepared to love. And she's with Keiarna. And gorgeous Keiarna, who was a poor victim when I last saw her, is now being a weirdo. And all of a sudden, her friend Angel, who wasn't even there last season, is also being a weirdo. And we spend 8 episodes now watching these 2 women who Wendy has never had beef with be determined to be mean girls. To the point where everybody is begging them to get fired because they're ruining the fucking show. Imagine you wake up one day with 2 enemies who you've never had beef with simply because they're friends with the person who was talking shit about you. You see how that doesn't make any sense? It could be it's the NBA now. Oh, y'all are taking liberties with it. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm a logophile, so when I think of a wag, I think of it in the proper term of it being a footballer's wife. If y'all have extended it to the NBA, I guess. Look, words evolve, child. Words evolve. And so the season is basically the first 4 episodes of the season is me going like this to the screen, like, huh? Why are you mad at Wendy? Wendy didn't do nothing. And here's the gag. Giselle likes to haze new girls on their first season. Giselle is hazing the fuck out of Angel. She's hazing the fuck out of Angel. And every time Giselle hazes Angel, Angel gets mad at Wendy. Giselle will be like, Angel, Keiarna told us that she chin checked the fuck out of you the other day. And Angel will be like, nah, Keiarna wouldn't have said that. That's my friend. And Wendy be like, wait a minute. When we were hanging out and we told you this at the store, you said that you're not a punk ass bitch. And if Keiarna was talking shit, you were going to check her. Why are you suddenly acting like you don't care right now? Oh my God, guys, Wendy's attacking me. Wait. Giselle's the one. Wait, hold on. Giselle's the one who tried to make you fight with your best friend. All Wendy said is, why are you switching up your narrative in front of her face? You were ready to fight when she wasn't around. Wendy's confused. Giselle's attacking you. Why is Wendy the issue? Here comes Giselle. Girl, who the fuck is that on your Instagram? Because you have filtered your face so much, you look like a catfish. Bitch, is this you? Because it don't look like you. You're a catfish. Here comes Angel. What do you mean? Here comes Wendy. Well, what she means, Angel, is that she's saying how you look in real life is not how she sees you on your Instagram. Oh my God, guys, Wendy's attacking me. Wendy called me a catfish. Huh? No, she didn't. Giselle called you a catfish in front of everybody, embarrassed you, basically said you was ugly in real life compared to how you really look, whatever. And when you pretended to be confused, Wendy was like, oh, let me explain it to you. I'm a lawyer. I can explain it. You're mad at the person who explained the attack, not the person who did the attack? So yeah, guys, at that point, I was like, bitch, number 1, you are a catfish. And number 2, you might be colorist. And the moment where I had to admit it, right? The moment where my desire to come here and have an unpopular take because I wanted to be like, hey guys, maybe we've misread this. The moment where I gave up on having Angel's back entirely, because she was annoying the fuck out of me, but I was trying not to be biased, was when she went to Giselle crying and saying, I saw you as a big sister. Why did you attack me? Giselle apologizes. Keiarna goes to bed early. She's hanging out with Giselle, Wendy, and all the other girls. And she gets it off her chest. Giselle, you came for me. I don't like that. And everybody starts clapping like, yay, you're finally standing up to Giselle instead of Wendy, because Wendy hasn't done anything, you weird bitch. Yay. Even Giselle is like, good for you for standing up to me because I'm hazing you because it's my job, right? Everybody's relieved that Angel has finally calmed down on her weirdo behavior towards Wendy and is actually standing up to the person who's actually bullying her. And we all think, oh my God, they finally made amends. How about that night on her way to her room, Angel goes to check on Keiarna. Angel doesn't tell Keiarna that while you were gone, me and the other girls actually became cool. Instead, she lets Keiarna keep talking about how much Wendy is the problem. The next morning, Angel wakes up and attacks Wendy again. I said, now, bitch, I can only shoot you with so much bail. I cannot. Everybody was kikiing and laughing and kumbayaing when you were by yourself. Why is it every single time you're around Keiarna, they've started calling them doom and gloom? Keiarna is doom, okay? Everything around her is horrible. She has a cloud above her. She's like a sexy Eeyore. And Angel is just gloom. And so the purpose of today's live, I've caught you guys up, by the way. For anybody who hasn't watched the show, you officially know everything you need to know to watch the rest of this live. So when I see doom and gloom becoming an ongoing thing, not only is it annoying, as it starts to escalate, now Angel is acting like a Karen, where not only is she pretending to be attacked by the dark-skinned woman who is simply just trying to help her understand things, she also now has started to lie. Everything that Giselle does, she's now blaming it on Wendy, forgetting, bitch, there's a camera. Why are you telling everybody that Wendy called you a catfish? That was Giselle. There's a camera. Why are you making fun of how ugly Wendy is to your sister and calling her Forrest Whitaker? Yeah, I'm so sorry. And shout out to Forrest Whitaker. You're an amazing actor. But if any woman gets compared to you, it is not a compliment. Y'all know damn well that Keiarna is a sexy Eeyore. Let's not lie. Keiarna is a sexy ass Eeyore. If Cruella DeVille from the Dalmatians movie and ER from Winnie the Pooh had a sexy black baby, it would be Keiarna. Okay? Manamana. Right? Just what the fuck? So guys, now that we're all caught up, let's watch how the audience is reacting, because I'm the amount of Karen behavior that Angel and Keiarna are directing at Wendy is what made me realize, bitch, it's Karen behavior because they got it from Karen. Sometimes the truth is right in front of you. We're all confusion when the answer was right under our noses. Angel and Keiarna, in my belief, are acting like Karens because they're acting like Karen. And here's the worst part. As gorgeous as Keiarna is, she's chasing after a mediocre looking man with little titties and no swag. Girl. There's something about Greg that makes me feel like he has too much estrogen. For those who don't understand analogies, Keiarna, your man's a bitch. I didn't want to mince words. So, you a pretty bitch and he's just a bitch. We good? Now that we're on the same page, let's watch the reactions from the audience.
Fine, Angel, but you know that already.
Oh, I know. Oh, by the way, Angel's husband's not a bitch. That nigga fine. Angel got a big old tall football husband. Again. Oh God, I'm so depressed that Angel wasn't who I thought she was gonna be. A big titty bitch who pulls fine niggas. Angel! We were supposed to be friends. Okay, let me stop mourning it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop mourning it. Yeah, it's just sorry. All right. So this is Angel and Keiarna, two pretty bitches kikiing and talking in a way that would have made me think that I would have stand for them, right? So much potential.
Yes. He's the finest.
You are the big fish that caught the fish. Let the people know.
Okay. Let's just say that.
You see these smiles? They're smiling more in this 30-second clip than they have smiled the entire season 10. I love a pretty bitch. I can't stand a miserable bitch. So, Angel, this is why we're at ground zero.
Let's just say that.
I'm just going to say it. No. Nope. No. Angel is just, it's a hard no for me. No. No. So I would say that Kay is doom and Angel is gloom. Like together they are just doom and gloom. Like every single scene that they are in together, it's just like there's a cold front. Like I can't live like this. There is a permanent rain cloud over this woman's head. Like Cheer up, my God. Cheer up.
Long story short, my ass.
By the way, you said Bobby is handsome. I wouldn't say fine. How do I say this nicely? If a man is 6'9" and rich and attractive, unfortunately, that's objectively called fine these days, girl. If he's tall and rich and handsome and he actually comes home at night, that's all it takes for the girls to say fine. That's just 2025 math, respectfully. Can we all call a thing? Can we all be honest? If a man is 6 something and attractive and can pay his bills and is trying to raise his kids, I fear that's all it takes to be fine in 2025. The bar is not in hell, but it's pretty close to the devil's ankles, right? So yeah, I would say yeah, I feel. Thank you. Can we all agree? It's a low bar. I do think he's attractive, but him plus the ecosystem plus the 6. Somehow not you have me at 6'9". See, I know some niggas. I'm not gonna say this, but it's a man in the industry who I think looks like Count Dracula. He looks like 1, 2, 3. He looks like Count Dracula. He was on a very popular show. We have a lot of friends in common. I think he's a little ugly. First time I met him and I had to crane my neck up. Mind you, I'm 5'9" barefoot. For those who are unclear about what I got going on when I'm not sitting down in front of y'all, I am 5'9". Okay, I'm a tall bitch. The fact that I had to lift my chin to look at him, I was like, okay, well, I mean, I've always liked Count Dracula. You know, he's educational. Like, I found myself bartering with how ugly this man was. And y'all know exactly who I'm fucking talking about because he was on a very popular show. And I will not say it because we all know what the show is. And a lot of my friends work on that show. So I don't want to be messy. But if you know who my friends are and what show I'm cool with, and who the tall nigga who looks like Dracula is on that show, you already know who I'm talking about. Okay. Anyways, yeah, the minute I had to lift my chin, you've already gone about a point and a half up and being fine. At 5'9" barefoot, which means I'm about 5'11" when I put shoes on. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new here, just know my name is Bluecentric. I always forget to do the intro until we're fucking 20, 30 minutes in. Hi, my name is Bluecentric. I'm a writer, a producer, a spiritualist, and an emotional intelligence coach who tries to teach the tenets of emotional intelligence and ego death through speaking about pop culture and politics. And I do not subscribe to respectability politics. I'm too busy having integrity to cosplay as somebody who has integrity. So if you need me to talk as if I'm delicate, if you're somebody who cries on TikTok every time somebody sneezes and disagrees with you, this is not the space for you. If you actually value psychological safety instead of the optics of safety, welcome home. Okay? So all right, let's watch this clip. Let's watch this clip of how this young lady talks about Wendy to her sister, even though Giselle is the one who keeps attacking her.
To sitting down at dinner, the first thing out of Giselle's mouth is, so Angel, I see you on the blogs and the pictures don't look like you.
Angel, I did not know that was you on these pictures.
Do you know how messy it is to be at a table full of people at a bachelorette vacation with 6 cameras and crew and be like, girl, so when I look at your page, who's that? Because that's not you, right? That don't look like you, bitch. That is some heavy-handed shadiness, yes? And we all see this is Giselle, right? Giselle and Wendy don't look close enough for you to mix them up. Damn, not y'all guessing who I was talking about. Shut up. Y'all are too smart. Shut up. Yes, April, you're correct. All right. So we all see together that this is Giselle, yes? We all agree this is not Wendy, yes? I hate that I have to be this rudimentary. Okay.
This video is not my weekly rant about how much I dislike Angel as a housewife. No, let's talk about these filters. Since this is a topic of discussion on a reality show, like we all don't use filters. I love me a filter. I want to look like Rihanna in every picture, okay? If you see me in real life and you see my Instagram, mind your business.
I'm going to say this, guys, and I'm going to keep dabbing. One of the things I realized is a stim for me when I'm wearing makeup, because I'm not a makeup girly, is to dab my face, because I keep on feeling like, is this skincare? And I have to realize, no, bitch, it's makeup. But the filter thing has always been interesting to me. There's 2 things about filters I don't like, even though I'm someone who enjoys the lighting, right? I love how a demure filter will properly light you in a dark room. However, As somebody who loves her blackness, as we have debated ad nauseum at this point, I hate that it takes me forever to find a filter that is not trying to lighten me. I hate when I put on a filter and it tries to make me 2 or 3 shades lighter. I hate that shit. Who told you that just because I wanted good lighting, I wanted to be less black, right? And so I've always been like, damn, I like the way filters make everything look so shiny and crispy, but why are you trying to make me look like I'm Blasian? Like, I'm cool being me. And so we all know when a filter has turned you into somebody else. The reason why I don't use the TikTok filters at all, I mean, right now, this is just my naked face sweating under the fucking strobe light. But the reason why I don't use TikTok filters is because I'm like, who the fuck is that? TikTok filters make me look like a sexy androgynous. Like, what is up? It chisels you. Like, is everybody got a sexy man jaw in the TikTok filters and angry Bert and Ernie eyebrows? That don't work for me. Okay. I'm a soft-faced bitch. I do not want to look like my own husband. Like, so yeah, me and filters have a weird relationship, which is why I have trained you guys to see me come on here with a naked face and a bonnet. I don't ever want y'all to be dependent on me beating my face or wearing a filter because I ain't got it. Angel, though, her filters, and you know I did some investigation. I went looking for her. People were like, well, the filters just make her look like how she looked 20 years ago. No, it doesn't. I looked her up 20 years ago. No, it doesn't. That's a new bitch. It's a whole new bitch. The person that the filters make her, she's never been. So she's not even like being nostalgic. It's a cyborg, okay? So let's talk about Filtergate because that was the first time that I started to realize just how much of a weirdo Angel was committed to being. And I'm wondering how much of that do we have to blame on Keiarna and how much of that do we have to blame on her being a wag who has been coddled too much?
I went through Angel's Instagram because I never have before. She has her comments turned off on the filtered photos. You guys scarred this woman for life. Let's go through them and see if it's really worth making a whole story.
The woman in that picture was brown skinned, but so Angel gets to, you know what? Don't piss me off. So Angel gets to be okay. That's fine. For those who are new here, the Blue Crew likes to haze me about. Anyways, let's watch.
Out of no comments.
Who is that? That looks like LaShante Heckard, the pretty Blasian model from back in the day. Who the fuck is that?
No comment.
Is it baby filter? Oh,
Did she filter the baby?
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, this is what she looks like in real life.
No,
okay, the girl I can see why it's a topic.
No, I found her skinny pictures, y'all. That's still not her. I found her skinny pictures. That's still not her.
Of discussion. Like, should it be a storyline? No. But, like, does it go too far? A little bit. But one good thing that came out of all of these filtered photos and Giselle bringing up this thing like it actually matters is now she's posting very light filters and like what she actually looks like because she is pretty. And these are her recent photos now. Like, this is a
whole different bitch. Can we all be honest? Not unattractive. The real Angel's actually attractive. That's why this is weird to me. I will say this. You know how they have a woman's tax where a woman will always have to pay more for everything, whether it's products or self-esteem? Yeah? We all know about the women's tax. We also all know about the black tax. We don't often talk about the colorism tax. Can we all be clear that if you are objectively a 7 in the face and you are lighter than a paper bag, society will treat you like an 8.5? Yes? If you are a lighter complected woman who's a 7.5, mind you, a 7 means you're cute. 7's not ugly. I would call myself a 7, right? So if you're a 7, if you're a light-skinned 7, you're immediately an 8.5. If you're a light-skinned 7, actually, let me take it back. If you're a light-skinned 5 with a body, you're a 10. Can we be honest? Are we going to be honest today or not? Y'all let me know. Yes? So because we all understand the light skin tax, I think Angel is a 7.5. Yes? I think Angel thinks that she used to be a 10. I don't think that Angel knows that she's only allowed to pretend to be a 10 because she's light-skinned and has a rich NFL husband. I think this show full of 8s and 9s who don't have husbands and who have the audacity to be much darker than her, and some actually do have husbands and have the audacity to be darker than her and are being treated better than her despite the pretty privilege that she was expecting. I think it's melting her brain. I think it's melting her brain that a dark-skinned 8 who she thinks is a 7, even though ironically she's actually a 7 herself, it's fucking with her heavy. Here's the issue too. You're gonna be like, well, Blue, Angel can't be colorist because Keiarna is brown/dark. I don't know what's dark anymore, y'all. I'm just gonna call everybody dark skin. Fuck it. Right? What about Keiarna? Keiarna is like a good 8.5, 9, child. Are you serious? Keiarna is so pretty. Pretty bitches are always gonna be tokens. Y'all saying she just big. Nigga, I'm big. I'm not taking points away because she's big. I don't give a fuck. I just called her a big pretty bitch earlier. To me, a 7 is somebody who is cute, but who doesn't make people stop in the street. For me, for you to be an 8, and this could be me being a face queen, for you to be an 8, babies have to stop crying, dogs have to stop barking, and cars have to like, the way that I gasped when I saw Keiarna giving that sad eye to that man, to me, that's where an 8 starts, respectfully. That's just my personal opinion. It is not a matter of fact, right? Y'all still call me bright dark? Y'all still doing that? That's fine. I love it that y'all so comfortable. Then fuck me, huh? Just, it's okay. It's fine. So, in my opinion, a 7 is a pretty girl. A 7 is any pretty girl who's pretty, which means you could be a baddie when you get your, get all dolled up, and you can still be cute as fuck when you're homeless looking. That is a steady 7. It's actually why when people say, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate yourself? But you can't say 7, is because 7 is a neutral, safe landing area. It means I like myself enough to know I'm not ugly, but I'm not walking around saying I'm the baddest bitch in the world, right? But Keiarna's an 8. That bitch, her face is doing other things than the rest of us, right? And so because she has a token dark-skinned baddie does not absolve her of having colorism in her veins, guys. Massa had slaves who stayed in the house too. What that mean? What that mean? Yes, Giselle's also an 8. Giselle's also an 8, guys. So I think it's fucking with this young lady that she's constantly treated as a 10 because of her husband's stature in football. And now that she's in a space where nobody gives a fuck about football, the reality of how the rest of the world might perceive her, and the fact that she doesn't actually have she has clout but not a personality. It's also another thing. A lot of people mistake clout for personality. You think just because your husband's important and y'all have land in Colorado and Virginia or whatever else that you have a personality. People aren't laughing because you're charming. They're laughing because you're rich and you have a big house and you're the host. And they kind of have to laugh out of politeness. Thank you, guys. 8 and up is showstoppers. I will say this. I'm not fat phobic, but I will say that I'm a woman who gains weight very evenly and loses weight very evenly. Like I've gained like 20 pounds this year because from all the work I've been doing. I started drinking green juices, y'all. You already know. I already said I'm trying to lose some weight for sex reasons. Aside from sex reasons, because I'm nasty, I'm also trying to lose weight because of my face, not my body. I actually love my shape. Bridget's always making fun of the fact that I'm just a chubby Jessica Rabbit, right? I love my shape even when it's fat because God bless me with that. What bothers me is my face. I gain a lot of weight in my face. When my face gets snatched, I suddenly feel like an 8. That's not fat phobia. It's just fat distribution, right? I think that Angel doesn't realize that she doesn't look that different with the weight gain. Angel with the weight gain, Angel without the weight gain, is actually the same face. I think that Angel is conflating the fact that her body is bigger than what she's used to for her looking different. And so everything you say about Angel, she thinks it's because she's fat, not because she's being mean and judgy and unkind. Angel, I looked at the pictures. You don't look that different, which, by the way, is a compliment. Girl, if I eat an extra taco, my cheeks get big. You are lucky that you can gain this much weight inside the same face. The fuck? Anyways, guys, let's play the video.
Angel, we get on the show. She posted it on her Instagram. So, like, there you go. This was her from Watch What Happens Live.
Damn, y'all said a 5. Well, damn. But not me being the nice one. Wow. Wow. Wait, where's her titties? Now, hold on. Where her titties go? I'm so confused. What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did she get a boob job? Or is that like is this AI? Hold on. Y'all, there's no dress on the world that can make my breast look that small. What is this? Y'all so busy happy that she left her face alone. Where her tickles spilling titties come out? You know what? Angel, you are a fucking mirage, okay, bitch? 1 minute you are a sexy snatch face brown skin girl. The next minute you ain't got no more titties. I don't know what's happening. This is why people don't trust you, Angel. You a shapeshifter. When Wendy said, why are you Big Willie when Keiarna's not around, but as soon as she comes, you kumbaya. Now suddenly your G-cups that I thought were bonding us have disappeared. Now I ain't even got no reason to have your back no more, bitch. I give up.
There we go.
Absolutely nobody asked me, but we a couple episodes into this season of Potomac, and Angel... First of all, I don't like when people throw out colorism and there's no basis, but I also don't like when people throw out body shaming and there's no basis either.
Yeah, Angel said that Giselle said she didn't look like herself because she was being body shamed. Angel, your body wasn't the part of you that we didn't recognize. That's when I knew that she was conflating her gaining some baby weight for her actually just lying about her face. That's when I knew something was off. Giselle didn't body shame you. She face shamed you.
But to the colorism of it all, we have Giselle speaking on your appearance. And when she does that, we're at tears saying that I looked at you like a big sister.
Giselle, I'm really disappointed. I looked at you kind of like a big sister.
By the way, that's me. You will see videos of other TikTokers, but I went and found the clips because I want people who have not watched the show to have like a visual. So I'm going to warn you now. Every time somebody says something, if I found the clip, I'm putting in there. Oh, I hope I don't get a copyright. I tried to make the clip short.
But when Wendy addresses the personality changes and how you handle situations depending on the time of day, where you are, and who you're around, which is actually true, you feel attacked.
Wendy's like, she calling you a catfish.
Like, I felt like straight catfish. I don't know who this person is.
Yeah, really. Asshole lips and giving Forrest Whitaker an eye.
Look at how she's describing Wendy. When the clip just showed, it was Giselle who said it. Wendy has asshole lips and is giving Forrest Whitaker in the eye. Wendy looks like a traditional Nigerian woman. So what are you really saying, bitch? And respectfully, at your 7 that I'm giving you from a place of love and kindness, Wendy and you are not far from each other. Sincerely, bitch, you look too regular to be talking like this. Hell, I think I look too regular to be talking like this. I don't talk about people's appearance unless they like look like Boosie, right? But that's because he's facially challenged and ugly on the inside and homophobic. You gotta be ugly to the bone for me to start talking like this. Angel, respectfully, you are a beautiful woman and you still look too regular to be this nasty about somebody whose decimal points are not far from yours. And here's the thing about being a regular looking bitch, because I know plenty of regular looking bitches who people think are sexy. You want to know the trick about how to be a regular looking bitch who feels like a showstopper? Personality. Personality. People always don't realize it until I pointed out that sexy is what we call people who objectively, before they speak, could be regular, but the minute they talk, your dick jumps, right? There are people in this world who the minute they start talking, I get a lady boner. Had they not said a word, they could have been regular. If Angel was a badass, mom, entrepreneur, not a girl's girl, because that shit is just a smoke screen. If she had a fun person, if she acted like Tia, shout out to Tia, shout out to the British girls. The Nigerian British girl Tia that they just put on, a fucking winner. Stacey, crazy as fuck, a fucking winner. Right? If Angel had Tia or Stacey's personality, suddenly I would think she was a bad bitch. Her numbers would go up. But you can't look this regular and act this fucking regular and talk shit about someone whose personality is running circles around you, even while she might be going to jail. I'm putting it on the screen because I didn't want to say it. If she is Forrest Whitaker in the eye, you are bland chicken. You are boiled chicken. You understand me? No Larry's, no adobo, just salt and a dash of pepper. You got some fucking nerve being this regular talking big shit on camera. No, and mind you, you want to know what the biggest irony about this moment is? This is exactly what Wendy said about her that pissed her off. She was mad when Wendy said, why do you talk big shit when the person's not around? And the minute you're around that person, you start crying like you're a victim. The irony that boiled chicken is up here talking shit about Wendy and proving Wendy right simultaneously, my brain started to just throb. My brain started to throb. I was like, now, Ho, you making it too easy now. Somebody said, Stacey's face card can't be denied. I will say this about Stacey. We're going to talk about Stacey in a second because I wanted to end on a high note because doom and gloom, sexy Eeyore and Rain Cloud. I didn't want this live just to be about them because then it would give me a little bit of indigestion. So we will be talking about Stacey. Stacey, I will say this, taking away the part about her lying because Stacey is a pathological liar and we don't care. We don't care that she's a pathological liar. We don't care. And we're going to explain why we don't give a fuck later. Stacey acts the way that I would act if I was on that show. Man, if I went on Real Housewives of Potomac and they were like, and you fat bitch, I'd be like, I am fat. I also have money and friendship and star power. How about you, friend? What you got? Because my thing is, talking about someone's appearance as a way to demean their valid points is a third grade tactic. The minute you turn into a 10-year-old trying to argue with me, I've already won, bitch. I don't even need to defend myself. Right? So let's keep watching this extra regular bitch talking big shit behind people's backs and proving them correct about her character.
Do you not see where that could possibly look like colorism? Because what's the difference in the questions that are being asked and how they're being asked? And I honestly feel like Wendy is real calm with it. Wendy don't actually want to engage it, but when y'all...
Wendy's so calm, it actually makes me cackle how much you can tell that Wendy does not give a fuck about what these ladies think about her, and that, like Giselle, she's just trying to put on a good show. It hit me that this is the season that Wendy watched Giselle and realized there's a way to give people a fun moment on the show and not give a fuck and just collect your check. And she's correct, by the way, guys. That's how you stay on the show. Recognizing it's a job. And I always say I'm perfect for the internet. I don't give a fuck about the internet, right? Wendy and Giselle are perfect for Potomac because they don't give a fuck. To them, it's a fun opportunity to kiki, have some shady moments, put on some beautiful gowns, and collect a check. But I think for Angel thought that she was going to find a new group of wags to bond with.
I'll keep bringing it up. Okay, fine. Let's address it. Cool. And she's still mad calm with it. I love the way she's handling it.
For the person who's saying Wendy also has the benefit of being on the show for 5 years. This is the first season without getting dragged or beat up. Wendy, I think the point has to be made that Wendy got dragged every single season and never cried as much as Angel did. And one could argue this season is probably one of the most light touches they've ever had. Everybody on the show is walking on eggshells to not scare Angel, and Angel's still playing victim. I've actually never seen them take it this light on a rookie. So the irony that you are being hazed the least but crying the most, I can't do it.
And still, of all the conversations that are being had, I don't feel like Wendy is necessarily attacking Angel. Now, Giselle's comments, if you had one little question about her fine-tuning her photo, perfectly fine. But girl, you are literally beating a dead horse. She pushed it. Now, that was attacked.
I was a red carpet host. Part of my currency was my appearance.
Did y'all see that picture? Child, that's the same girl, 10 pounds lighter.
You had one little question about her fine-tuning her photo, perfectly fine. But girl, you are literally beating a dead horse. She pushed it. Now that was attacked.
I was a red carpet host.
Y'all, I'm gonna make myself small. That looks like the same person. That looks like the same person. Why does everybody keep acting like she suddenly became 3 shades darker, got a new forehead, a new chin, and a new nose? She looks the same skinny.
Part of my currency
Yes,
was
it's her
my
gosh,
hair.
that's it.
Potomac, yeah, Kay and Angel, wrap it up. Wrap it the fuck up. We really just saw in real time the double standard and the fact that y'all really here to come for Wendy. Like, we saw that shit in real time. You sitting up acting like Wendy didn't speak to you and y'all not close, even though you just tried to come for her the last time y'all saw each other.
Mm-hmm.
You got all this attitude and neck. Giselle literally pulls up your picture and says you are unrecognizable. She don't know who you is, what's with the filter, and you don't give her that same energy. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Kay, you're weird. You're weak. I don't like it. Your season is just downhill. And while you sitting up trying to get into it with everybody, you not low ho. It's some shit going on with Greg, that condo, that house, and some whole other shit, and you're deflecting.
The fact that Greg has been with you for what, 5 or 6 years, and y'all still, let me shut up.
And trying to figure out other storylines because you don't want that to get out.
Okay, so Angel.
For the person who's saying everybody hated Wendy before, I don't know who everybody is, but you're talking about the castmates. People, there's a thing that y'all don't understand called respect. The thing that's more powerful than being liked is being respected. People don't necessarily like Wendy more. They can't help but respect her. Ask me how I know. There are tons of people who I know deep down don't like me, but they begrudgingly find themselves respecting me. Respect is more powerful than likability. Likability is fickle. Respect is the kind of thing, even your biggest hater is like, fuck, this bitch really is 10 toes down, right? And so I think what's happening is the respect that people have gained for Wendy is why, whether she was being dragged or not, she's still the last woman standing.
On Real Housewives of Potomac, you are on the docket today because what are you talking about that you in that photo? Miss Mamas, you know that wasn't you then, and that damn sure isn't you now.
It's her first season as a housewife. How would you rate?
So here's the funny thing. This is BravoCon. I cut off the part where he says, so Angel is standing right next to you. Angel is literally off to the left of her, being interviewed by somebody else. And watch how Ashley still talks about Angel when she knows that Angel is literally in hearing distance.
What's the scale?
They said on a scale, they said, do you think that Angel should come back next season? I think.
To 10, 1 to 5. Is a 0 an option?
Ooh.
Okay. She's a sweet girl, but I just don't think this playground is for her.
It's giving beautiful gowns. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think Angel is doing this season? Is a 0 an option? Is 0 a number in this scale? Is sub 0 a thing? Can we find numbers that happen prior to 1? How does this work? Look, I don't fuck with Ashley Darby, but even a broken clock is right twice a day. Okay, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
I'll put it this way. I think that Ashley doesn't have much going on this season. I think.
Now, Angel, you got some nerve, okay? I'm not the biggest fan of forehead, but
I think that it behooves her to talk about me because my life is obviously full and wonderful.
Does Angel know what obvious means? Angel, you've been crying every 35 minutes after you confer with Sexy Eeyore. And so what do you mean your life is obviously, what does obvious mean to you? I would like somebody to ask Angel, what does the word obviously mean to you? Because words mean things.
I think that it is very nasty to call a grown woman a girl. I think that I am the
girl. That's the hill you're going to die on.
Picture of resilience. I know that I'm the picture.
She said, I am the picture of resilience. You cried to a complete stranger and a bad lace friend about thinking she was going to be your sister, even though she just met you last week and doesn't give a fuck about you. Are you serious? That's the picture of resilience. What dictionary is Angel using? Right? I think because you hoes say words like behoove, you think that you... Angel, it would behoove you to stop telling us who you are and show us instead. Because the person you're describing, I have yet to see 8 episodes in. It would behoove you to show us instead of telling us. How about that?
Picture of resilience. And so I don't receive anything that she has to say. And I would like to see how her storyline that doesn't exist plays out for this season. And
Angel, what's your storyline? Aside from being a victim who's being treated with kid gloves. Angel, what's your storyline? Look, shout out to Carlos King for not being scared of having me on his show every week, because y'all...
And I think that she has rode the coattails of everyone else that has something going on. And I think that that's where that's coming from.
You rode the coattails of a junior varsity housewife who had no storylines except for getting glass on her pretty face. You are riding the coattails of a junior varsity bench player who barely got airtime last year. But you think Ashley Darby? And yes, don't get me started on Mercurial. Don't get me started. Mercurial means volatile and moody and whatnot. The way she used Mercurial, you know how they say people who are smart don't have to say they're smart. They're showing people who aren't smart memorize words. Shout out to Melissa Ford. This is giving me big Melissa Ford energy. You just looked up a bunch of words, okay?
And here's the thing. I think that people are going to have a lot of opinions. I think that some of this cast likes to look in the comments to get what they want to say on the red carpet or...
You know why this is so funny? I found about 7 clips of Angel trying to have zinging one-liners that didn't make sense. And I was going to play them at this part to show how she's actually describing herself while thinking she's describing Ashley. But I chose to be nicer because, you know, I think I've said enough for today.
At panels or at reunions, I think that, you know, the people who watch this show give these women a lot of material. And so she can think what she wants to think. But I'm the quintessential housewife. So that's that.
Angel?
Does she know what quintessential means? Okay, but look, girl, you can't keep on throwing out words incorrectly now.
Just doesn't stop. She's on podcasts talking about how her life is so much better than everybody else's, how no one has storylines. They're all using her and reading the comments to give her shade and blah, blah, blah.
For those who are members, members, just know, guys, there's certain stories that I'm not going to share until we reach 1,000 members. We are currently at 792. We're only 208 members away from the super sexy story times. So if y'all really want to know all these fucking stories, find me 202 more members, please. For those who are not members, I promise I spoil my members, particularly during the holiday season. And for the Mark Lamont Hill argument with Melissa Ford, me and Melissa had the exact same argument 5 years earlier. Watching him say to her the exact thing I had said to her in 2020 was the weirdest feeling in the world. But it also felt vindicating that somebody else who I relate to was having the exact same experience with her. So yeah, Mark Lamont Hill is not the first person who's told Melissa that being treated regular feels like an attack when you're used to being privileged.
No, it's you that's doing that. What is Angel's storyline? Being a wag? Your storyline is being with an NFL player, being with an athlete. Who cares? Oh my God. Your whole identity is being a wag and being a mom. And this is not the group of ladies for that. We don't care.
Did Angel come on the show expecting the women to operate just like a wag circle? And is that a part of the issue for her on the show?
So this young lady, I think her name is Kristen, Reality with Kristen. Shout out to her. She's the only person I can find on the entire internet who agrees with my Karen theory. So I'm so happy I found at least one fucking person so I can take a break. So guys, we're going to let Kristen explain to you our theory about why Angel and Keiarna are moving so weird. I 100% agree with every single word she's about to say.
Is it possible that Karen played a bigger role in mentoring Keiarna than we recognized? These are my quick takes after season 10, episode 5 of Real Housewives of Potomac. My new theory as to why Angel's behavior is so odd and isn't working on the show is because Angel is used to how WAG circles operate. Angel came into the show expecting the women to act a certain way based off her years of experience in athlete WAG circles, and the Potomac Housewives do not operate that way. WAG circles have a clear hierarchy that typically is at the top are the star players and whoever they're dating or married to. And
Basketball Wives is university, guys. Respectfully, whether you agree with it or not, Bravo is at the top of the reality food chain, particularly in Black and brown communities. We might talk about Love Island once in a while because the kids done dragging us into it. We might kiki about the new Netflix shows like Love is Blind, but a Bravo appearance is the top of the reality food chain. That's why they have BravoCon. Bravo is so big, they have their own conference. So respectfully, if I had to choose between Bravo and Basketball Wives, mind you, half my friends have been on VH1 reality shows. Right? Half my friends have been on VH1 reality shows, and they're all walking around. The money's already gone, and they're traumatized for life. If you're gonna do reality, there is no bar heavier than Bravo in this day and age. And I hate giving Andy that much credit, but I'm not a fucking liar.
And it works its way down. So if your husband is well known, if he's frequently a starter, if he plays a lot, if he's one of the star players, you're at the top of the totem pole.
So when she said this, when she said that if your husband's a starting player, you're at the top of the totem pole, I went and found the clip where you literally see her trying to pull rank on Jazzy. For those who don't know who Jazzy is the other WAG on the show, but Jazzy is a very pretty brown-skinned girl with a big sassy personality, right? And she doesn't double click on the WAG as much as Angel does. However, you can tell she is a WAG though, because later in the season, when she hears some really fucked up stuff about Angel, WAG to WAG, not Jazzy, Jessie. Is it Jazzy or Jessie? Y'all, is it Jazzy or Jessie? Because y'all writing both and now I'm getting confused. But when she hears some really messed up shit about Angel from another WAG, she pulls Angel aside off camera to tell her WAG to WAG, hey, I heard this. It's really hurtful. What do you think about what I heard? That's the kind of courtesy that you only do because there's an allegiance of some sort. So I do believe that Jazzy is proud to be a WAG, but she doesn't wear it like a shield or wield it like a sword the way that Angel does, and I respect that.
And those wives and girlfriends do get better treatment from the coaching staff, from the owners of the team, from the business side of the team. Those wives.
Do you hear that? WAGs whose husbands are at the top of the food chain, due to no work or merit of their own, immediately get the trickle-down effect of their husband's perceived superiority, where even the coaching staff and the institution of the NFL treats them better. So Angel has spent a better part of a decade with the man whose status makes her favored even by the institution that she is a part of. Subconsciously, she probably came on the show thinking that the cast, particularly the popular light brights, and the producers would be on her side. So imagine the level of cognitive dissonance that she's experiencing now that the girls are not kissing her ass and the producers are clocking her tea in all the edits. Pride comes before the fall, right? Her being a WAG is why I think we're literally watching her have an ego tantrum on television right in front of our eyes.
Automatically get more respect, more support, and also more friendship from all the people in the organizations. Their partner is at the top of the hierarchy based off their talent and skills. I get the sense with Angel that she expected a few things of these women she's not getting. One is respect. When she made the comment about her husband being a 10-year starter, I initially did not think that was shady, and I thought Wendy was off mark.
And by the way, Giselle is allegedly dating an NFL player. And so I do think there's a part of Angel that also thinks, well, Giselle, not only are you the prettiest, most popular bitch on this show, you're also the embodiment of a WAG, and you might become one thanks to the guy you're dating. I immediately want to see you as mother. So she's so much on Giselle's dick, excuse my French, that she's like, oh my gosh, Giselle is because Giselle is a drop-dead gorgeous woman of a fair complexion with a great personality who's also famous and is now potentially dating an NFL player. In WAG language, Giselle is mother. That's why Giselle can do no wrong, while Wendy's being blamed for everything Giselle actually did.
But now that I've seen more of Angel, I actually believe Angel was not being shady, but she was pulling rank on Jazzy. In the world of WAGs, your man being a 10-year starter means something. Like, that is meaningful. And if my man's a 10-year starter and your man rides the bench and has been traded multiple times, I'm above you.
Do you hear that sentence? And you guys, the clip that I found, it is sliced in here. It's coming up soon. If my man is a 10-year starter, he's been him for 10 years, and your man rides the bench, I'm better than you. Why do the pronouns change so drastically at the end of that sentiment? First, it was my man, my man, my man. But when it's time for the respect, suddenly you're the one who gets it. Even though the franchise is called The Real Housewives, most of these girls don't have husbands. And all of them are breadwinners in some respect. You're in a room full of self-made women thinking that you can stunt based on what your man did. You're in a room of self-made women trying to use your man to stunt and flex. And you're wondering why everybody's looking at you like you're crazy.
I'm above you. I can pull rank on you. And when Angel said that, the people who caught it, caught it.
Jazzy, what position does he play? He's a linebacker. A linebacker? Yeah, okay.
She said, Jazzy, what position does he play? Right? It's like when people complain that, like, when I used to live in DC, every time I would go to a networking event, so what do you do? Now, who are you? Do you come here often? Do you have any friends here? No, what do you do? Right? When somebody rushes to say a question like that, even though it's just a kikiing, it's them trying to check how much respect do I have to give you? I'll never forget this. Shout out to Trell. He works with Miss Tina Knowles. I know a lot of people who work on Miss Tina's team, and they're all very lovely people. And Trell has a thing called the Black Excellence Brunch, right? And the Black Excellence Brunch is he involves like influencers, content creators, writers, journalists, celebrities. And we go to this all-white brunch that's celebrating Black excellence. And he picks a theme every single month, and he showers the person who's being honored with love. I'm invited to this Black Excellence Brunch. You have to be Black and excellent to even be invited, right? So you would think that at a Black Excellent Brunch being held at a mansion in Baldwin Hills, where Tabitha is the keynote and a bunch of celebrities that I grew up watching that I will not name drop are sitting right next to us, you would think that one would walk into an event like that assuming if you're in here, you must be somebody. And I'm remiss to use the term somebody because everybody's somebody, respectfully, right? And I'm sitting at this Black Excellence Brunch, and this young lady, I'm going to choose my language carefully because I've been to many Black Excellence Brunches. So if you think I'm talking about you, there's a 1 in 100 chance I am, because I've been to so many of them. It might have been you, it might not. But if you think it's you, that's a guilty conscience, right? This young lady sitting next to me, and I love her energy. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so fun. I love me a fun bitch, right? And so I'm kikiing. Well, I thought I was going to kiki with her. And I realized that as I'm talking to her, she's scanning the room to see if anybody more important is there. And we all know what I'm talking about. I'm like, oop, my bad, bitch. I guess I'm nobody. That's fine. I guess I'm nobody. That's fine. And after about 10 minutes, I'm realizing, oh no, she really is looking to see if there's anybody important in here. And I think she thinks I'm a pest. I'm not used to people finding me to be a pest. I'm usually the one who's trying to end the conversation and leave first. I was like, oh, okay. That's an ego check. She doesn't want to talk to me. I thought I was charming, but okay. I go talk to somebody else, some famous influencer whose content I really loved. She and I are talking, and all of a sudden, somebody important, again, I'm not going to name drop, I'm trying to get better about that. Somebody important comes rushing at me. Blue! Oh my God, I'm so happy you're here. Oh, I'm having the worst day. I need your energy. I love you. I love your energy. It's so good to see you. Immediately, the young lady who's been sitting next to me for 2.5 hours starts to slowly turn to me as if she's seeing me for the first time. I continue talking to this young lady, the one who ran towards me. Now, the person next to me, the one who was acting like I was a pest just from simply making small talk, turns to me and says, wait, so what do you do? I said, don't worry about it. We've already met. Don't worry about it. I'm nobody, right? She's like, no, what? No, seriously. And then she starts smiling, like kind of awkwardly, like, no, but what do you do though? And the person says, oh, Blue, she's on Hollywood Unlocked with Jason Lee. They have a show on iHeartRadio. They're like in all these markets. And she works at the Griot, and she's always going viral for her think piece. Like, starts reading off my resume in a way that I never would at a function. I'm just sitting there eating my dessert. And she was like, oh, wait, you work in the radio? She was like, where in the radio? I said, I work at iHeartRadio. I work at iHeartRadio. I've been wanting to work in radio my entire life, and I've been trying to figure out how to get my foot in the door. I said, oh, word? I got up and left. This was several years ago. To this day, every time this girl sees me, her face lights up and she comes running towards me. And the first thing she says, Blue, why don't we hang out more? Because you don't like me. I'm sharing this to say, when I watch the way that Angel moves, it's very much, let me know what you do so I can see what you're, how valuable you are, so I can discern if you're somebody I need to like and be nice to. I love walking into a venue and waiting for as long as possible not to talk. The first thing is, it's come to my attention that my voice is a little bit assertive. I sound very sure of myself, even when I'm chilling. And so there's an assertiveness to the way that I talk that naturally soaks up energy. Also, people recognize my voice a lot from my podcast days. So there are people to this day who don't recognize me because my hair is always changing. But the minute they hear when I was in London, I got recognized within 2 hours of landing in London, because apparently a lot of British people listen to podcasts. Who knew? I got recognized in London even more than LA, simply based on my voice. And so I love walking into the room as a nobody to see who do I click with before they have any idea what I do, right? I feel like Angel doesn't have the ability to simply connect with people without knowing what they do and having a gauge on their social currency. And there's something so nasty about that. Even when she talks about her sister, right? Even when she talks about her sister, the first thing she does is read off her sister's resume and says, I've always wanted to be like her. Not, she's the most loving sister. Not, I love her so much. It's like, she's a big fucking deal. Look at me and my sister. My sister's a big fucking deal. She does it with her husband. She does it with her sister. And now she's trying to do it with Jazzy.
What position was Robbie? He's a tackle. So he started for 10 years.
Ooh. And it was meant to be called.
She said, oh, my husband started for 10 years and only Wendy clocked it. This is another reason she doesn't like Wendy. Wendy is sharp. I'm gonna see if I can play that again without going too far back. Hold on.
Automatically get more respect, more support, and also more friendship from all the people in the organizations. Their partner is at the top of the hierarchy based off their talent and skills. I get the sense with Angel that she expected a few things of these women she's not getting. One is respect. You know, when she made the comment about her husband being a 10-year starter, I initially did not think that was shady, and I thought Wendy was off mark. But now that I've seen more of Angel, I actually believe Angel was not being shady, but she was pulling rank on Jazzy. In the world of WAGs, your man being a 10-year starter means something. Like, that is meaningful. And if my man's a 10-year starter and your man rides the bench and has been traded multiple times, I'm above you. I'm above you. I can pull rank on you. And when Angel said that, the people who caught it, caught it.
Jazzy, what position does he play? He's a linebacker. A linebacker? Yeah, okay. What position was Robbie? He's a tackle. So he started for 10 years.
Ooh. And it was meant to be caught by Jazzy because the other women probably don't recognize it because they're not a part of the WAG circle.
So I love that you wrote this, love. When Jazzy's man was brought up, this is a great point. When Jazzy's man was brought up, she perked up to ask, what position does he play? When Chris Samuels, which is a very well-known name in the NFL, was brought up, she perked up and stated he mentored her husband. The minute Chris Samuels was brought up, she wanted to let everybody know he's a big deal NFL player, and I have proximity to him through my husband. Are y'all hearing the pick-me trad wife in that? For you to walk as if you are Sojourner Truth, as if you are fucking Harriet Tubman, and you are this proud, badass Black woman, and yet everything about your value is tethered to your proximity to what your husband did. And this has nothing to do with being a stay-at-home mom. I know plenty of stay-at-home moms who have a sense of worth. So let's not blame it on that. Somehow in her relationship and in her ecosystem of the NFL, she's lost herself And she's using the NFL as a shield of superiority, and it's fucking with her that, again, none of these ladies care because they have their own.
But that told me right there, once I thought about it deeper, that yes, for Angel, she's used to being a part of these social circles with women that have these embedded cultural norms of my husband's a star player, my husband plays every time, my husband is always going to make the roster.
Yep.
Therefore, you respect me. Therefore, you view me in a more positive light. I believe Angel is used to gaining respect, friendship, and a level of access purely because of her husband's skills and talents and the fact that he is seen as one of the better players on the team. I would bet she felt like, oh, I already have experience hanging out and befriending a group of women.
She thinks because the other NFL girlfriends and wives are nice to her because of the caste system. It is a caste system in the NFL. She's conflating her being at the top of the caste system with her having the ability to make strong friendships with women. And she's learning in real time on national television how much that is not true.
Because she had that, but she didn't recognize that that does not translate to Real Housewives, because Real Housewives don't care that your man was a 10-year starter and they're not going to automatically embrace you. Another thing I will point out is the WAGs do become really good friends.
I love that she's saying the WAGs become really good friends as you're making this statement. She is a sorority girl. It's giving really mean girl, AKA energy. It's giving really mean girl, AKA energy. I'm going to repeat that one more time. It's giving really mean girl, AKA energy. Not all AKAs are mean girls. Okay. My first girlfriend was an AKA. So clearly I don't think that. They were lovely. They be on some gay shit though. I'm not even going to hold you. But shout out to the AKAs. I love y'all. But if she is someone who naturally subscribes to the one-dimensional stereotype of an AKA, who on the show actually is an AKA, boys and girls? Who on the show is a 8.5? I would have given her a 9 if it wasn't for the bad wigs. Who on the show, looks-wise, is a fucking 8.5? Seniority-wise is a 10 on the show. And is actually an AKA. Could it be Giselle Bryant, the one who keeps clowning her and she keeps forgiving?
A lot of the WAGs become really tight. And I also think she expected the women to be friendlier, to be more open to her in a genuine way.
For those who are saying Wendy's an AKA too, you already know why they're not being perceived the same. Let's not play that game. For those who are saying Jazzy is an AKA as well, you already know the difference. Are we really going to have to go there? I feel like everybody already knows where I'm going with this. Because there's the new age AKAs and there's the Spike Lee good and bad hair AKAs. Thank you. Oh my God. Somebody said School Days as I was making the comparison. We see each other. This is why I love y'all so much. This is why I love you so much. Wait a minute. Is Wendy an AKA or is she a Delta? Hold on. I thought Wendy was a Delta. Hold on. Wendy Osefo sorority. I thought Jazzy was the AKA and Wendy was a Delta, but maybe I got those mixed up. No, Wendy's an AKA. You're right. Oh, yeah. Well, I like AKAs, okay? I like pretty bitches. I like bougie shit. Y'all can call me a capitalist all you want. I can be a revolutionary capitalist. I ain't got no problem with AKAs. But I'm also very clear about who looks like the poster child for AKAs and who doesn't. Oh, Robin is the Delta. Okay. Because I thought that in the Wendy, Robin, and Giselle, there was 2 AKAs in the Delta. I just got Robin and Wendy mixed up. That's probably the last time I'll make that sentence.
To build a friendship, it seems like she's expecting the women to like seek her out for friendship, even though she's not seeking them out or trying to get close to them. It almost feels like she's upset.
Oh, honey, a bunch of the Deltas denounced Robin a couple of days ago. So tell your own sorority to be nice. Robin was denounced like 48 hours ago by some big shot Delta. You might want to say that in the group chat, friend. The Deltas have denounced Robin, and a lot of the AKAs have denounced Giselle. I'm just saying, look it up.
That they aren't, and she had an expectation that they would do it automatically. I believe Angel's expectation that the WAG culture would translate into the Real Housewives culture is part of why she's sort of flailing on the last 2 episodes, because what she expected is not happening, and she doesn't really know how to navigate the space in a different way. To further my point that Angel expects this group to function like a WAG circle, I thought the comment about her husband sending her $5,000 to shop was another prime example.
That was weird. Y'all, there's this moment where they're all on the bus, kiki and talking, whatever. And there's this smile that Angel does when you can tell she's trying to bond, like, hey girls, let's kiki like homegirls, right? So she's doing the let's kiki smile because she smiles she doesn't smile often. So every time she does, my brain clocks it as an anomaly. And she looks at them and says, so my baby sent me $5,000. And everybody was like, okay. And you could tell she was expecting a reaction. And I was like, that's cool. Your man sent you $5,000 while you're on a trip. But it had nothing to do with the conversation. And you paused dramatically as if you were waiting for a moment. And nobody, me included, but I'm autistic, child. I'm always confused about what moment people are trying to create passively. Everybody's like, okay, girl. And you could tell she was like, see, they're picking on me again. I was so confused, girl. I was so confused why that $5,000 announcement was such a big deal. And here comes Wendy killing in her confessionals. Wendy is killing it this season. Okay? I hope she beats the allegations because I feel like she ironically came into her own, including maybe the court charges. Maybe having a federal court case is part of coming into your own on this franchise. But Wendy was like, if your husband gave you $5,000, then why are we at a swap meet souvenir shop looking at $12 keychains? Like, I don't make it make sense. And I love how Kristen explains, because this is the part that I had not clocked that Kristen clocked. I want to give her credit. Why she thought that was going to be a bonding moment. She thought saying that her husband gave her $5K was going to be a bonding moment with a bunch of women who are millionaires in their own right.
Example, where in a WAG circle, that would be so mundane. That would be probably expected, especially with a lot of the women, the men are the breadwinners.
In a WAG circle, if you said, oop, I'm up, Russell gave me $5K, they'd be like, yes, bitch, we outside. Like, it's a normalized bonding thing to talk about how much money you were able to get out of your man in a WAG circle. If Angel wasn't so miserable and mean and delusional and unkind and hypocritical, I really would feel bad for her.
The women don't work, the men probably control the money. So that's like a very normal conversation if you're on a girls trip and everybody's man is an athlete. But in a group of women where most of the women aren't even partnered, or if they are partnered, they're not with men who could just send them $5K, it definitely comes off as weird and a little awkward. And one more theory, because I clearly am very concerned about Kay and Angel on the show and their behavior, because I am so rooting for them. I have been thinking about Kay because this is, I believe, the third season that we've seen Kay, and we're getting a very different view of her. And I'm kind of wondering if Karen played a bigger role in mentoring Kay than we ever realized.
Absolutely. I think, I keep on saying this for those who came in late, I think the reason why Keiarna and her sidekick, Bland Chicken, aka Angel, are being so weird towards Wendy is because Keiarna is still close to Karen and Karen has beef with Wendy. Mind you, Karen's only beef is that Karen got caught talking shit about Wendy. Darvo. So they're acting like Karens because they've been schooled by Karen. That is my personal belief.
Now, hear me out. I know this sounds crazy, but Karen did always reach out to the new girls and extend an olive branch. Whether this was to gain allies or in a genuine way, I think it was both. And it was smart, but she was always the one to take them under her wing in a way that Giselle never did. We saw her do this with Candace.
Wait, somebody gifted someone a membership? Oh my God, y'all are so kind. Don't make me cry.
She even tried to do it with Ashley in the first 2 seasons. And then she did also do this with Kay. Mm-hmm. And I do believe that Karen will pull you to the side and give you advice on like, hey, you need to show up this way on camera.
Several people have come forward and said Karen gave them advice, guys. So this is actually not a speculation. It's something that has been uttered by several rookies throughout the years. So this is actually fact-based more than speculation.
I believe Karen was doing that for Kay. I question if Karen was doing a lot of that and that this side of Kay that we're seeing has always been there, but she had like Karen in her ear saying like, hey, reel this in. When I think about the dynamic on the cast, it felt like her and Karen had a close relationship that was like mother-daughter. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if the absence of Karen's influence is why Keiarna's being so like anti-social this season.
Genuine question.
Hey, that's bonkers.
Is anyone enjoying Kay?
Hey, well, how many? I already reached him.
Or Angel?
You know, I'm just tired.
The exact type of people that I avoid. Pessimistic.
Yep.
And pick me. Just
Karen is out of jail, guys. The Grand Dame is out of jail.
sabotage. All we've seen from them is negativity. They bring no fun. In the beginning of the season, Kay was upset at Wendy for not waving at her in the middle of a speech. And we find out that
Yes, when they said, Kay, what's your problem with Wendy? She said that Wendy didn't wave to her. Just say you want to fight. I'd rather a bitch just tell me she wants to fight me than to insult my intelligence with stupid ass answers like that.
Kay hates Giselle because Giselle didn't call Kay after her situation when we first saw her.
I should have called you, and I should be thinking about you during the worst time of my life.
So basically, she's been talking big shit about how much she hates Giselle because when the glass cut her face because she was standing in the wrong place during somebody else's bar fight. She was mad at Giselle for not checking on her. Giselle's father was in the hospital dying. And it was a very big storyline. So it's not like you didn't know, bitch. Giselle's father was passing away. Let me tell you something. There was 2 years when mother was in and out of the emergency room for years, and I was constantly running there, being her proxy, making sure she's getting her meds, making sure she has an advocate, making sure everything's good. If anybody ever fixed their mouth to say that they were mad at me for not centering them at that time, the way I would have cut, I had a bad visceral reaction. The level of selfish it takes to talk shit about somebody after you've already watched the episode air about her father dying. So you can't say you didn't know. We all have Wi-Fi, right? The disgust that is growing in the pit of my stomach for Kay stuns me because up until this season, I had no idea that somebody this pretty could be this ugly on the inside. I had no idea. And part of it is because that man with hips, what's his name? Little Titty Greg? Because Greg is not making her a housewife and she's miserable at home. So she's determined to get a storyline that doesn't let us focus on how miserable her love life is. Male-centered women make everybody pay when their man won't do what they want. If you have a friend who's male-centered, your ability to feel psychologically safe around her is tethered to how he's treating her. It has nothing to do with the friendship, nothing to do with her merit, nothing to do with you and what you're going through. If her nigga's not acting right, everybody has to pay for it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Is a high maintenance friend.
And that's what.
But Giselle was literally like living at the hospital with her father who was passing. And we see Jazzy pull Angel aside when the cameras and mics are down, which is so funny that we can also hear.
Okay, my bad, y'all. Did I say that out loud? I did. Fuck. I didn't realize I said that out loud. Okay, so I might have a bias. I can announce it. Men who are built like me freak me out a little bit. I'm not perfect. God's still working on me. I can never be with a man who's built like me. Why you got hips too? Soft-shouldered, wide-hipped, tight shirt wearing. Number one, I'm going to be worried about your estrogen levels. Let's go get you checked, baby. Let's go get you checked. Right? It don't. And that's a bias. If your man is built like a girl, I'm asking you in advance to forgive me for what I'm probably going to think when I see him. I can own my shit. I could totally own my shit. And to the men with hips, God, yo, you are good. You is kind. You is important. And there is somebody out there who will go to Lane Bryant with you and go shopping with you. It just won't be me. I can't do a curvy man. I'm so sorry. And I know that makes me imperfect. I'm okay with that. Maybe that's why I look at Keiarna, who's so ridiculously gorgeous. And then I look at Greg, who is built like a size 12 model and who acts like a crusty. Because here's the thing. If he had a swaggy personality, I would actually try to look past his hips and just pray that he found looser fitting clothes. But for you to be built like a baddie and to also act crusty, it's too much for me. I can't take it. I'm only a woman. I'm just a girl.
Them and see them. This is what I want to see when the cameras are down. And she asks Angel something that she heard about her husband.
Agent, his financial advisor, and his mentor call.
Oh, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. And sincerely to the men with hips, I really do feel bad that I feel like this about you. I'm working through it. I would say I'm working through it in therapy, but I'm not, y'all. It's not that serious. But so there's a moment where all the girls have had that shady moment. And for some reason, Stacy, who's batshit crazy, and I love her, crazy Stacy and Wendy are in the front of the golf cart while Jazzy and Angel, Bland Chicken, are sitting in the back. They're sitting there chilling, minding their business. And all of a sudden, they realize that Angel is getting riled up and raising her voice and getting rah-rah. Now, mind you, if you have no personality aside from crying and playing victim the entire season, if I hear you getting hype, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, did she finally come to play? So crazy Stacy starts earjacking her, and Wendy gets a little bump from Stacy, like, you hear this? And they're listening, and it sounds like Angel is calling somebody a straggly-haired bitch and this and the other, and she's getting super loud and animated. And Jazzy's like, I know, but Jazzy's trying to keep it calm, because Jazzy had come to Angel and said, hey, there's something I want to talk to you about, and I don't want to say it on camera. But Angel is getting rah-rah. So, of course, Wendy, who now knows her job is to create content, right? She's like, I know my job. I've learned from watching Giselle. I'm here for the shits. And Stacey's nuts. So Stacey was always here for the shits, right? They're listening to her talk about some snaggletooth, strangly-haired person. And they're like, what the fuck is she talking about? So when they're having this bachelorette party for Jazzy the very next day, Wendy asked, like, hey, we heard you getting real rah-rah last night when we were off mic and off camera. Is everything okay? Like, what's going on? Because in Wendy's eyes, girl, you have this like penchant for being rah-rah behind people's backs, but to their face, it's all kumbaya. I think a part of Wendy was sincerely curious and also wondering, bitch, are you doing it again? Because the record has shown you only get rah-rah behind people's backs, and now I'm hearing you get rah-rah about potentially somebody else. So what's tea, sis? And this is when Angel says, what's tea is, Jazzy pulled me aside to tell me that another wag had talked to her and told her that I had scammed my husband out of $30,000 and tried to get pregnant by him to trap him. And it was a painful time in my life. I got him anyways. How you doing? And we have some kids. What's up? And so I'm just upset that somebody would tell Jazzy about such a painful moment that I'm claiming is untrue. That tall, fine man she got, as somebody who's dated a lot of tall, fine men, there's some of them, they see somebody cute and soft and sexy and fun and assertive, and they just want to give us the keys to the castle. Them laid back niggas who just want a soft, big titted lady to make them be the little spoon and feed them and birth them some cute babies, because Angel does have beautiful children. I'm not a fucking hater, right? I know those niggas. And those men, if you scam them but put it on them, they might still marry you. So the minute I heard this, I'm like, I believe it. I'm not even going to hold you. I believe it. And what made me believe it is, as Angel is talking about how this lady alleged that Angel is, everything this lady has said that Angel is how Angel has shown up on the show. She's saying, I'm a mean girl. And a couple of the wags said that you're a mean girl, that you're cliquey, that you believe in hierarchies, that you can be nasty people, that you're a bit of a... I'm like, well, you just described the Angel I've seen the past 7 episodes. So it's kind of hard for me not to believe it when I've already seen it. And Angel is stunned. She's like, nobody who knows my heart would ever think that. That doesn't sound anything like me. And we're all looking around the room like, actually, it sounds exactly like you. And now this is awkward. And so Angel gets upset that it's been brought up. And the girls, including Ashley, because sometimes some shit is so right and wrong, even Ashley gets it right. They're like, but wait a minute. We're on a show where we all get paychecks for creating moments. And rather than cashing in on your demise, Jazzy pulled you aside off camera. She took away something that would have solidified her ability to get a peach or whatever they got. What did they got in the Potomac? Apples? What they got in Potomac? Peaches? Sphincters? I don't know what they got, child. They holding something in all the shows. She gave up her right to probably solidify her ability to come back next season out of respect for you as a fellow WAG. She gave up a moment that's considered gold in this franchise to give you an opportunity to defend yourself off camera. Why are you upset? Guess what Angel's response is? Because Wendy only asked me about it because she already knew and she was trying to be messy. Now, how we get back to Wendy? Huh? Somehow Jazzy pulling her aside turned out to be Wendy's fault again. At this point, I start pacing. Like, bitch, your ability to make everything Wendy's fault is now fucking with me. Because now I'm like, is it me? Did I eat some shroom chocolates and nobody told me? Because how the fuck is this Wendy's fault? Even Andy asked her when she went in the clubhouse, now, girl, how was that Wendy's? Even Andy's confusion at this point. It's giving obsessed. Like, you're not embarrassed. Because, Angel, here's the thing, Angel. You are pressed. So if there was ever a housewife who was pretending not to care while caring the most, it'd be you. So you're probably going to see this and you're probably calling me all types of names. It's okay, baby. Let's see if you can say it to my face because you struggle to say anything to anybody's face. When you can say it to people's faces, I'll care. But, Angel, at a certain point, you're going to have to admit that you are too insecure for this show. You hate yourself too much to be a part of the show. And you need validation so bad, you're probably going to still try to come back and keep crying and playing victim, hoping that suddenly you'll be able to convince us that you are not who we know you are. It's getting awkward. So anyways, guys, this is the moment where they ask Angel, what the fuck were y'all talking about in the back seat? And she somehow finds it a way to make Wendy's fault.
Him on three-way to say that I had stolen.
It felt like.
Let me rewind, fast forward a little bit.
Upset at Wendy for not waving at her in the middle of a speech. And we find out that Kay hates Giselle because Giselle didn't call Kay after her situation when we first saw her.
Should have called you, and I should be thinking about you during the worst time of my life. Is a high maintenance friend. And guess what?
But Giselle was literally like living at the hospital with her father, who was passing. And we see Jazzy pull Angel aside when the cameras and mics are down, which is so funny that we
Can we just talk about how attractive all these women are? Can we just talk about how everybody's face card?
can also hear them and see them. This is what I want to see when the cameras are down. And she asks Angel something that she heard about her husband.
Agent, his financial advisor, and his mentor called him on three-way to say that I had stolen money from his account and that I had hidden birth control so that I could get pregnant by Bobby without his knowledge.
Now, guys, do you think somebody's financial advisor and mentor would call them to say that you had stole $30K and were trying to get yourself impregnated to be a WAG if they had not done some kind of forensic accounting and pre-investigation? A financial advisor is not going to be saying something that harsh unless they hear something concerning that makes them think that there might be smoke and fire. Did y'all hear what she just tried to play victim with? My husband's financial advisor and mentor called him on three-way because they had a discussion and agreed that I might be a threat to this man. Let's continue.
What? But Jazzy did something that none of the other women would do. She pulled her aside. And who brought this to the group? Angel. And at first I was thinking she was doing this for attention because why would you bring up your own problems to the camera? But Angel was on Watch What Happens Live last night and said that she brought it up because Wendy asked her what happened.
How's it always one? Yo, I'm tired. If we had a drinking game of every time that Angel blamed Wendy for what's happening in Gaza, I swear to God, at this point, if Wendy doesn't go to jail for a federal crime, she might want to sue Angel or send her a cease and desist, child, because it's too much. It's too much.
In the golf cart, and Angel just assumed that Wendy already knew and that Jazzy turned on her.
Angel, as I watched tonight's episode, I wondered, why were you upset with Jazzy for coming to you on the side about things that she heard? I mean, wasn't that better than her doing it, like, in front of the group?
Do you see how Angel's like, Andy's like, so why are you mad? Andy's been doing this for 73 years. And even he couldn't make sense of it. And do you also notice how Andy makes it a point to ask a question about Jazzy, and the first words out of Angel's mouth is Wendy? Boy, I'm tired. Y'all, I'm tired. The man said, "Why were you mad at Jazzy for having the courtesy to ask you a question off camera?" And the first words out your mouth is Wendy. Girl.
I thought that Jazzy had gone back and said something to her about it. So in that moment, I got upset and I was like, okay, this is another gotcha moment on this trip.
I thought that because Wendy's the one who said what's going on, I thought that Wendy had talked to Jazz. Jazz had spilled tea, and that Wendy was intentionally asking me a question that she knew the answer to, just so she could set me up on camera. Who is thinking about you that much? Do you understand how important you would have to be for Todd to set up a scheme about you to this degree? The same Wendy who keeps laughing and walking away every time you try to confront her?
Sabotage, negativity. This is how she's entered the season. This is how she's entered being a housewife, thinking that everyone's after her instead of creating bonds and friendships. Stacey is legitimately getting snubbed by these women, and
they're literally coming for Stacey. Let me tell you the moment that I knew that I might love Stacey. Ashley was going to make her whole season about bullying Stacey. I'm using the word bullying intentionally because Ashley is like a little Rottweiler. And she said, Stacey, I don't know how to tell you this. This is how nasty Ashley is. Ashley is so blunt and nasty. She was like, Stacey, I don't know how to tell you this, but your breath is hot. Just said, oh, okay. Should I eat a bit then? I said, nah, bitch, is this love? So this is love. And then about an hour later, they're all sitting around the room talking because Angel back in the day at the beginning of the season was pretending to be a health and wellness advisor and had them doing sound baths and all types of shit that I believe in, but I'm not miserable like her. So I think it's kind of offensive that she's pretending to be healed when she's nothing but an open gaping fucking wound at this point. And after the sound bath, they're all talking. And Stacey said, hey guys, I would like to lead you all in an exercise. Can we all stand up and take all the air you can and blow it out? Within an hour of Stacey being told her breath stank, she's blowing her hot breath in everybody's face on purpose. I said, bitch, I think I want to kiss you on the mouth. She said, oh, my breath smells. You want to smell it again? That's my bitch. That is my bitch. Crazy. Nuts. She's nuts. She's nuts. Stacey, I love you. Something is wrong with you in the best way possible. You are nuts. They told you your breath smelled, so you made everybody get off the floor and do a deep breath exercise with you so we could all throw our breath at each other's face and see what's good. You are nuts. And I will say this, I know you're an Aries. Y'all know that most of my friends are fire signs. That type of crazy, I like it. I like it. I like it, Stacey. Whatever's wrong with you, I like it.
She is more optimistic than Kay and Angel. I've honestly seen enough. I've seen what I needed to see. I'm done with Kay and Angel.
Angel wants to be the victim so badly.
Not an Aries from Detroit having a blast. Yeah, I love it. I love black people and I love fire signs and I'm with the smokes and with the shits. Ain't just Stacey. Again, I said this in my video earlier. Whoever hired Stacey needs a raise.
And I think she's the type who thrives off of people dropping everything, running over, and just coddling her.
I do think that Angel has been coddled. I do think that.
I'm not sure if she's an only child. I am getting that vibe, but who knows? I will say, however, for someone who's only been on the show for like 6 episodes.
Oh, trust me. Dustin, I love Dustin. He's a Detroit Aries. So is Kendall. I love a Detroit Aries. It's a subsect of people that I fuck with because Detroit is so wholesome and black and family oriented, but with the shits. Hello, I just described me. Aries are so with the shits and will knock over everything. Hello. Detroit Aries, I love them. I love them.
To have made the impact that she has is kind of crazy because you've only had 1 sound bath, 1 lunch at Preakness, 1 cast trip to Nevis, and you have managed to make yourself look like a fool. Being overly sensitive and then never letting it go will do you no favors, especially on this show. Jazzy was incredibly kind, and I really applaud her integrity for not dropping the bombshell about Angel allegedly stealing $30,000.
Y'all, I tried to do this filter for the person who said they like this filter. I didn't realize how big my lips were. I have a lot of dysmorphia. I have lip dysmorphia. I got, according to you, I have color dysmorphia. Shit, I got titty dysmorphia. I did not know I was big chested until I heard somebody with my. I'm so comfortable in my skin. Nothing's a problem. I did this filter. My mouth, it looked like I was about to swallow my whole head. It was just nothing but the tip of the lemon, and the rest was just lip. And I said, well, this feels anti-black. This feels anti-black. So me and this filter, I love this filter as well, but I got too much lip for it.
$1 from Bobby while they were dating, getting caught, and then somehow getting that man to marry her.
Did you see what she said? She said the allegations are that she stole money from Bobby, $30K allegedly, scammed the fuck out of him, got knocked up by him, and convinced him to marry her. Look, honestly, that version of Angel is more interesting than this one. If she wants to be the Anna Delvey of the Potomac, at least that's an interesting story time.
And have children with her. And if that's the case, Angel, you better tell us the actual plan, very detailed, step by step. We need to be replicating that because icon behavior. And I'm not one to say that lightly about Angel, but that was iconic if she actually did that.
This is the rundown of Angel stealing the $30K from.
So guys, you know I'm messy a little bit. And by messy, I mean just thorough, right? Because I'm not messy if I'm just looking for the truth, and the truth drags you by the edges. I was like, well, I want to hear what allegedly happened with this 30K. Because this is the most interesting thing about Angel so far this season. That's the only thing that people haven't double clicked on. Did she steal the money? Apparently, these wonderful white folks went and did some research about what Angel allegedly did and why Bobby's a mentor and financial advisor got on a group chat talking about who is this hoe. Let's see what Angel allegedly did. Allegedly.
From Bobby. So when she moved to Chicago, this snaggletooth girl that she's referring to kind of welcomed her into the WAG group, and they became close. And Angel, I believe, told her that she had, stolen the money.
Kind of confiding in her, like all these things.
Yeah. And
the same Angel who was on the show saying, Bobby gave me $5K. I could totally hear her saying, girl, I got $30K out this dumbass. I could totally hear it. I could totally see it happening.
She wasn't on the birth control that they, agreed to be on. And so
imagine telling your WAG homegirl who's senior to you, because the WAG is all about a caste system. You're telling somebody of senior ranking that you've been lying about being on birth control and you stole $30K, and you're shocked and mad at her for dropping a dime on you?
that friend went and told the agent, and then the agent and the financial advisor and the mentor got on a three-way call with Bobby and told Bobby about the theft and the birth control. And then when Angel found out, she lost.
Theft and birth control is just wild. Angel used to want to be a correspondent. I think she did a couple of segments on BET and I don't know, child, Teen Summit or something. And so she really wanted to be, well, she wanted to do what I do now, right? And so, which is why I find it funny that she loves being on podcasts running her mouth. And so when that didn't work out for her, hunching on an NFL player felt like a great backup plan when she realized that she didn't have enough in her to be a star in her own right. That's important. The fact that Angel wanted to be an on-air correspondent and on-air personality and do all the work that we currently do now, and it didn't work out. And so instead, she stole $30K allegedly from an NFL player and then stopped taking her birth control so she could have his baby. Nobody in here thinks that that's outlandish based on the Angel we're seeing today. It also explains why his status and money are all she knows how to talk about.
Lost it on the woman who kind of outed her. Yeah. And that's why she's known for being rude.
Yeah.
So the lady outed her for being a scammer, and instead of saying sorry for scamming, she cussed out the lady. And everybody was like, girl, you're in the wrong. Why are you mad? More Darvo. And so this thing that Jazzy is getting a call about saying, yo, Jazzy, be careful. She's a mean girl. She's a scam artist. She's a pick-me. She's all types of crazy X, Y, and Z. The fact that Jazzy gave her the credit to not say it on camera, you know how ungrateful you have to be Do you know how ungrateful you have to be mad at people when somebody actually tried to look out for you, even though you're the villain in the narrative?
Yeah, and I mean, with the finance guy, hopefully he fired the finance guy. It takes some random person off the street to say 30,000 was stolen for him to know.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
you need a finance guy, dude.
Right. Like someone brought it to his.
That also explains why Angel has no access to the cash. Do we know that for a fact? Was it said that Angel had no access to it? Or are you guys speculating that's why Bobby has to give her $5,000 and she can't take it out herself? Interesting.
His attention
She's
that there
thinking,
was
was that the 30 I stole, or was that the 30 she stole?
Probably, not gonna lie. And then Ashley made a good point in her confessional, like, girl, leave it alone. It was 10 years ago. It's not a big deal. He married you anyways, knowing that you stole from him and knowing that you weren't on birth control. He had kids with you anyways. Like,
she had no
let it
reason
go.
to bring that story up.
Also,
I don't know why she did that.
This was not the story Jazzy was referring to. So Jazzy took her off camera, off mic, and said, hey, this girl, which is the same girl, had said that you are pretty rude and very difficult to be around.
So here's the thing that's so funny. I forgot to mention this nuance. All Jazzy said to her is, the girl said you're mean and difficult and rude. Angel's conscience was so scared. She said, yeah, I mean, I didn't steal that money. And they're like, girl, money? What happened? The girl said you was rude. What money? And then starts confessing. Angel. The same way that everything is somehow Wendy's fault, why are you confessing about a robbery on your husband when all the girl said was that you were rude? Oh, bon Dieu.
Around, and that's just not what I've seen, so I thought I'd tell you. And then Angel freaks out and is like, well, that girl,
she also said this about me. She's like, well, she didn't say any of that to me.
Yeah, Jazzy's like, that's not at all the story she told me, but thanks for all the tea.
Yeah, she just said you might be a little rude.
Yeah, so Angel just totally outs herself and gave us all this information about her being a fraud.
Yeah.
Which is honestly kind of a criteria now for a housewife.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, the amount that go are drinking and driving or committing fraud or stealing. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yikes.
Yeah, it is. It is quite shocking, honestly.
It is. Real criminals.
Yeah. Real criminals.
We all admit how weird it feels watching white folks be this invested in this super black TV show. It's always like, oh shit, they really are watching us.
Whatever city you want to choose.
Yeah. Oh man. But I think in all, Angel.
So if I can fast forward now, I want to fast forward. You guys, I sometimes make it a point not to watch a full clip just so I can be surprised with y'all.
Don't really see her coming back. At least how the season's going now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Even though white folks say, "Hey, gee willikers, we don't want that lady back." Gosh darn it, Angel, you think you're so bougie and so classy, and your life is so obviously popping. I still don't think you know what obviously means. Even though white folks are like, I'm not sure I want that young lady back. Right? The folks you're trying to impress, even they're like, yeah, we're not buying it. Bring back Nene or somebody. Ciao.
It's been a rough launch for her.
Yeah. Well, let us know your thoughts in the comments.
Okay, so y'all have to stop blaming Angel's gloomy kind of Debbie Downer behavior on Kay. It's not her fault. They're actually very similar in that they always think someone is coming for them. Like they always think that they're the victim. It gives kind of like delusional friends supporting delusional friends' delusions. I'm not gonna hold you. I kind of respect it to a certain extent. Very much I support my friends' rights and wrongs. What really threw me for a loop this last episode is that Angel was actually the loudest one and the most animated one on the golf cart. And I don't know if Wendy and Stacey would have picked up as much of the conversation or like picked up the body language or just like, you know, kind of the intensity of the situation had it not been for Angel. But she still convinced herself that Jazzy must have said something or that somebody was doing something shady behind her back, that Jazzy had ill intentions. It was all very weird. And it's like, girl, Stacey and Wendy know or have a peek into your business because of you.
And another. That's the thing I will say. That scene, after they had the scene, Stacey ran out of the bachelorette party and started crying to her husband. and attacking the woman's character, all based on an assumption that has now been confirmed as false, and she has yet to take accountability. What's the point of filming everything if people are going to still lie? Because I'm a roll the clip kind of bitch. But what happens when you roll the clip and the bitch is still lying? Now what? Now we're in the alternate fucking universe.
The thing. Everyone is saying give Angel grace. She's postpartum. And I get.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of people. I'm a mother too. Give her grace. She's postpartum. Angel had a baby 2 years ago. Wendy came on the show within months of having a child and nobody gave her grace. But we're supposed to give Angel grace after 2 years? When we had no grace for the person who had been there only months after having a child. I wonder what separates these two ladies and why one gets sympathy for crying for nothing while the other person is expected to be a mule. I wonder what they call that word.
Get it, yeah. I mean, I don't get it, but I get it. Like, let's give women grace when they're postpartum. However, when Dr. Wendy came on here her first season, she was very postpartum. Like, Angel is about almost 2 years postpartum. Dr. Wendy was less than a year postpartum. And y'all dragged her for filth.
Angel, let this be your first and last season. I can't lie. Let this be your first and last season.
This young lady tickles me because she reminds me of Tia. For anybody who's wondering why we love Tia, the other new addition that we're not talking about because we like her. So all we're going to say is we think she's amazing. Tia reminds me of this young lady, so I wanted to include her.
The truth is that you're just not internet ready. And do you know what? Usually I wouldn't even have a problem with that. Like, it's giving Kim Fields. But the difference between Angel and Kim is the fact that, like, there have been so many years of this show for you to be able to reference and know the characters that you're dealing with. Do you get what I mean?
How do you come in on season 10 acting brand new? We're 10 seasons in. Do you not have Wi-Fi? It's so bizarre to me. It's so bizarre. If I knew I was going to be on a show, the first thing I would do was study everything about it.
I feel like you should have done a bit more research. And you actually have an ally. You have your best friend on the show. Kim didn't even have all that. Do you know what I mean? I know people are going to say, yeah, that they think that Jazzy was being messy. And do you know what? I think she went in with the intention of being messy. However, she saw that Angel was mad cool, probably saw that she was going through a lot on the trip, probably didn't want to pile on her. And she said, you know what? Let me do a bit more investigation on this lady and like bring it to her herself off camera, which actually, in the grand scheme of things, Wendy's right. Like, she didn't have to do that. That was actually very, very gracious of Jazzy to do. Let's be clear, Jazzy is also trying to get her spot on this show. And Angel, you are making it so freaking easy for her. Like, you're actually handing it over. She really didn't have to tell you off screen. Like, she actually could have came at you at the dinner table and said, listen, some people have been talking about you. This is what they said. And then it would have been up for discussion with the group. You went and brought it to the group by yourself. By yourself. Let this be your last season. You ruined that girl's bachelor party. Everybody was having a good time. It was fun.
And guys, I keep wanting to reiterate this. This is all happening at Jazzy's bachelorette party. The girl who the party is actually for was looking out for you and you still made her the bad guy and somehow found a way to throw Wendy into it.
It was nice to finally see the girls having fun. Like, do you know how many years we've been waiting for these women to have fun? And you just ruined it. Like, you have actually gotten off so light.
She has.
So light. Like, I remember them coming for Wendy in a way that was so crazy, to the point where they came for her parents, they came for her husband, they came for Monique, they came for her husband, her homes, her children, her mother-in-law. Like, there are so many housewives that have had it like so much worse than you.
They were basically humming Whoop That Trick a la Hi Ho from the Seven Dwarfs while they were dragging Wendy by the edges. Okay? Whoop that trick. Like, they were attacking that lady so much, it almost felt rhythmic. And Wendy's up here just chilling and allegedly scamming, but just chilling, right? And I think that's why the respect for Wendy has skyrocketed even in the midst of her scandal, because the way they pounded on that lady and she did not give a fuck. You understand me? Not F-U-C-K, F-O-Q-Q, a fuck, okay? Wendy could give a good goddamn. So for you to be attacking this lady, who already earned her fucking stripes and is trying to leave you alone? Nah, girl, no.
Giselle coming for you and saying that you're using filters is so light. Like, it's so light. Like, this is probably the easiest entrance I think anyone's ever gotten on this show. And the fact that you're handling it so poorly shows me that you are not ready for this. You're not ready for this at all.
And you know what's crazy? Like, it was so entirely rude of Wendy just not to say anything at all when she...
So I wanted to include a clip of her just blatantly lying. Okay? I need you to know everything that's about to happen is a lie. Okay? It's like that guy from South Park. Okay? Everything you're about to hear right now is a lie. And 13 seconds later, the producer showed that she's lying. Her entire premise during this part of the Bachelorette weekend is, yo, Wendy is such a rude, uncouth bitch who lacks decorum. Just say the N-word with the hard ER. You think she a black nigga? Just, I'd rather you just say it. Just say the thing, Angel. The dog whistling is making my ears tingle. Wendy's so rude. She has no decorum. You hear my voice. I'm speaking slower, so I sound demure and you know, highfalutin. So this cow, this mule, this donkey saw me at the airport and said nothing to me. She looked right through me. I was paper. I was transparent. Who raised you? Girl, the lady walked right up to you and hugged you the minute she saw you. How do you create a lie that blatant and say it on camera? When Wendy hugged you, did you think it was the ghost of Christmas past? Who do you think was hugging you when Wendy walked over and hugged you? I can understand perception versus reality, but how do you just block out an entire human being and a 30-inch bust down leaning over to hug you? It's too much.
Saw me. She didn't say almost anything to me the entire time in the airport. She didn't say almost anything to me the entire time in the airport.
Are we sure about that? Because you know what's about to happen, y'all. Are we sure about that? She didn't say anything to you? Didn't say hi to you? Had no decorum? Are we sure about that?
When I arrived to the airport, it's like I was a see-through sheet. It's like they didn't see me, they didn't feel me.
You were a see-through sheet. You think you and your G-cups were a see-through... Child. Maybe she has titty dysmorphia too, child. So let me not talk shit.
Didn't greet me.
Y'all will do anything but accept accountability when you know you was dead ass wrong. Roll a clip.
We're going to nice to see you.
Who do we see here in a 30-inch bust down rushing to her to hug her? Y'all, shout out to Dwight. That's a 3-year-old clip from Dwight that I just had in the tuck because I knew there was going to be a time where I was going to say roll the clip. So shout out to him for being part of my archive. But Wendy's hard to miss. Wendy's about 5'9", with about $2,000 or $3,000 worth of luxurious hair extensions and fresh titties and ass that she bought 2 seasons ago. How do you miss the entirety of Wendy crashing against your body and create an entire narrative for the entire trip that Wendy snubbed you? Man, at this point, if you're Team Angel, I'm judging you. I'm judging you at this point.
Nice to see you. Good morning, darling. And I don't know about them. That is not the way in which I would conduct myself.
The fact that Giselle has 3 daughters in college,
Now, meanwhile, here's the one thing. I wanted to end on a high note about Angel. Angel is such a fucking weirdo. The OGs who used to fight have united in their confusion against her. She's wearing them out so much with her shenanigans and delusions. They have bonded from exhaustion. Silver lining. For the first time in 10 seasons, Giselle, Ashley Darby, and Wendy are all on the same side because they are so stunned by whatever and the fuck is going on with Angel and Keiarna. Silver lining. And this is a part of them at BravoCon sharing and bigging up each other because they're like, girl, I thought you was a colorist ass trick, but at least you're not Angel. Let me give Giselle some flowers.
Positive Black news.
Amen,
Hello.
amen, amen.
HBCUs. Can we talk about the fact that my daughter just did a Gabby's Dollhouse commercial?
Nice.
Little melanated princess. She did that commercial. Hey, Ashley, what you got? What you got?
Everything. My life is going amazingly. I'm going to be performing at Studio 54 here in New York in a couple of weeks.
The fact that this clip starts with her saying Giselle has 3 beautiful daughters in college. My daughter is doing this. Ashley's chasing her dreams. I almost got emotional. I feel like I know that the show is meant to be mess and it's meant to be a guilty pleasure. But watching 2 powerful in Ashley, but watching Giselle and Wendy, who had some of the nastiest arguments in previous seasons, be able to sit here and look into the camera and admit that, bitch, you're kind of her. You're her. I haven't always fucked with you, but I appreciate that you weathered the storm. It really touched my heart. So shout out to you, Angel, for being such a fucking weirdo that you made everybody else recognize that the rest of them aren't so bad in comparison.
Very excited for that.
Wendy shouted me out, but like season 10, like we made it to season 10 of the Real Housewives of Potomac when people thought we were not.
Giselle said, I can't even flex because Wendy did it for me. Why am I getting a shiver? Anybody who knows how nasty Giselle and Wendy's fisticuffs used to be, this is like watching the Bloods and the Crips hanging out at Nipsey's funeral. Yes, I was at Nipsey's funeral. I understand the Bluecentric lore. The last time I felt this emotional was at Nipsey's funeral. Not the 2 opposing sides put away their gats, united against the fuckery of Silver Lining.
Is it something you want to keep doing? Like, do you want to go back and like, no, I'm gonna fight through this. Do you want to do more, or does it turn you off?
Oh, Wendy and Ashley. You see how I was talking about Wendy and Giselle? Ashley had never been good. I said 2 powerful women in Ashley. Ashley is just the filling in the middle of the Oreo child. Now this clip is of Claudia. Shout out to Claudia Jordan. She's also on Carlos King's show. Claudia, I adore you. We know each other from our Fox Soul days. But now Blue is everywhere. What you mean? Oh, because I was at Nipsey's funeral. Yeah, child. I'm like Forrest Gump. Somebody asked me if I could be a fictional character, who would I be? The fictional character who I would have to say is I am Forrest Gump. I'm a happy autistic bitch who leaves the house and weird, interesting shit happens, and I come home with fun pictures. That's the fictional character that I relate to the most. Now back to this. Claudia, shout out to my girl Claudia from our old Fox Soul days. Claudia asked Angel on her podcast, would you come back? And I fear that Angel, she's threatening us with a return. She's threatening us to return. And I'm getting sick just thinking about it.
To do more. Because reality is tough, right?
It is, but nothing can turn me off. This is reality TV. It's not the first. I mean, what hot girl hasn't had people talk about them, right?
What hot girl hasn't had people talk about them? What does that have to do with you? Wait, is she identifying herself as a hot girl? Is that what's happening? Words mean things, Angel. What do you think a hot girl is? Is a hot girl a wag, stay-at-home mom with no personal identity who's lost herself to her husband and raising children and has no sense of self, who thinks that she's superior for being lighter than a paper bag and marrying up and getting knocked up and scamming the right nigga? Is that a hot girl? Actually, maybe that is a hot girl.
This is not the first time that I've experienced people having different opinions of me than what I know is true.
You also said Wendy didn't hug you. You knew it was true that Wendy didn't hug you. If you can miss 5 foot plus of Nigerian hotness with a fresh 30-inch bust down pressing its body against you, I can't help but wonder what else you've missed, Angel. Respectfully. I can't help but wonder.
And so nothing that anyone could say could run me away from a platform that I'm on because of who I am.
Oh, you think you're on this platform because of who you are and not because Keiarna needed a friend to come on the show with her? Oh. Maybe we should end Angel's part here because I feel like this is as nice as I can be. There's a certain level of bullshit that actually makes my brain scream.
Right?
Not really what they're saying, but like how you're feeling.
Yeah, I am here and I'm on the show. And
not you're here. Somebody cue Letitia Campbell. I'm still here. That's what I heard. Damn, I should have added that clip right here. Fuck, I missed the opportunity because I was running late. This is Angel for Rogan. Yo, Angel is in. If y'all have not seen that Tisha Campbell moment in Black history, I'm still here. Look it up. This is the same energy as the. I actually want to find it, but I don't want to get a copyright.
You know what? BravoCon was fun.
Okay.
Right. The comments.
Wait. What do you mean let her hair go? What am I doing? What did I do? What did I do? Oh, okay. Y'all asked me to review this show knowing I have the tism and I'm not scared of nobody. Y'all can't keep asking me to do this shit and then tell me to stop when I do it. Y'all know who y'all invited to the party, right? Okay.
I mean, they're rough, but they are what they are. They are people who don't have all the information, making judgments for themselves.
Who don't have all the information even after you committed to a crime on television? You gave them the information, baby. They have it.
And that's them. And I think that, of course, I'd be down to be back. I mean, if that's the question.
Claudia said, would you come back next year? And it took you this long to. So is this a yes? The fact that this lady can't just say yes. Oh, guys, there's a bot in here. I24884. Please remove them. Let me see if I can remove them myself. Ban user and delete their comments. Sorry. Angel, was that you? Oh, I'm still here.
I am not. This has not done anything to make me feel like I don't want to do it anymore.
Of course not, honey. It's the most attention you've gotten in years. Of course not. All right, guys. Well, that left a funky taste in my mouth. So let's make sure that we end this on a high note with my bitch, Stacey. You crazy fucking masterpiece. You QVC thuggish, ruggish bone. Stacey, the woman that you are single-handedly the only thing keeping me smiling when I watch the show. So I want to end. I would give flowers to Tia, but Tia is just lovely. There's nothing to say. She's just lovely. She's a lovely lady. It broke my heart that Tia and Stacey, my two faves, had a little rough moment, but I hope Tia gets over it by the next episode. So let's talk about the wonderful, brilliant mess that is Stacey. Stacey from Detroit, y'all. I'm just gonna keep repeating that because Stacey almost beat that lady's ass. For those who want to know who that lady is, so there's a long-bosomed, rotund woman named Cookie on the show. Just very long-tittied. There's a lot of titties this season. So Cookie's claim to fame is that she is the fat sidekick to all the women. And I'm not saying that because she's fat. I'm saying that because she literally embodies the fat sidekick archetype. I talk about this all the time. As a plus-size woman, there are certain lazy archetypes that some of us who haven't figured out how to still like ourselves while taking up space in the world use as like a shield of honor or dishonor, right? I talk about the mammy, right? I'm gonna just pay for everybody and buy you a short set because niggas won't choose me otherwise. I talk about and mind you, as a racially unambiguous big girl, I can talk about this with a bluntness that a lot of people can't. So I'm taking it, okay? Then there's the fat sidekick, right? What Melissa thought I was gonna be. Every bad bitch I meet thinks I'm gonna be their sidekick and finds out I'm just a bigger bad bitch, right? So Cookie's claim to fame is simply being the chubby sidekick of any housewife who is bored enough to let her carry their purse. And she talks big shit. And when she met Monique, who we love from this franchise earlier seasons, she lied to Monique and said that she was Chuck Brown's daughter. She lied about who her daddy was. I'm sorry, bitch. If you gonna lie about who your pappy is to get clout, I'm calling you names. Because that's weirdo behavior. That's how we lost Selena's. Okay? It's fuck Yolanda forever. So, Cookie's a weirdo. She's also the person who, because of course this is all her claim to fame, her only function on the show is to be a bone carrier. She calls Karen at the jail every week to get tea from Karen and send some money for her books. And then she goes back and tells the housewives updates on Karen. And that's why Bravo will let her be on for about 17 seconds at a time, every 15th episode. That's the only function that Cookie serves. Cookie does not like Monique Samuels. And so when it was learned by Ashley Darby, who honestly had no other storyline, so I don't blame her for bringing this up because she had nothing else to do this season. When Ashley said, Stacey, crazy Stacey, who we love, even though she's nuts. Stacey, what's this about when you were single and you and your husband had divorced? You tried to date Chris Samuels. Chris Samuels is the ex-husband of Monique Samuels, housewife alum, a housewife alum that Stacey has never met. Ashley tries to make it tea that she went on a couple of dates, that Stacey went on a couple of dates with Chris Samuels because Chris Samuels is the ex of a housewife that Stacey has never met. Yes, ho, I date the exes of people I've never met all the time. Dating the ex of a bitch I've never met is called dating. The rest of the sentence is actually kind of implied. It's everyday behavior to date a man whose ex-wife is a bitch you've never met. But somehow Ashley has convinced herself that this is tea. And because Keiarna's entire storyline this season is just hating life and everybody in it because Greg and his little baby titties. Keiarna's like, oh, I have a reason to attack Stacey now. And so when Monique comes back to the franchise and meets up with them for a pride function, she meets everybody. She's like, Wendy, nice to see you. We only got to film with each other for like 5 minutes before, I mollywopped the fuck out of Candace and got kicked off the show. So it's nice to see you again. I've grown. I've gone to therapy. I don't hit people anymore. Oh, Stacey, I've never met you. Nice to meet you. As Stacey is introducing herself to Monique, here comes Keiarna. Oh, so do you know that she tried to date your husband? And everybody's like, wait, what, bitch? Like, huh? And Stacey's like, why are you being messy? This is my first time meeting this lady, so I have no allegiance to her. Because again, Keiarna's worried about every man, but except for her own, right? And so Monique's like, me and Chris have been divorced for 2 years. I know that he dates people. Nice to meet you, Stacey. And Stacey's like, nice to meet you too. Like, this is weird that Keiarna introduced me in this way, but we have no beef. I'm actually back with my ex-husband, so I'm not even with your nigga no more. And he's not even your nigga. So we have no beef. And they were like, yeah. And Wendy's like, Keiarna, why are you being so messy? Wendy's just confused as we are. She's like, Keiarna, why would you introduce her in this way when nobody here has any beef and it's a pride float? Gay means happy. For those who don't know, the word gay used to mean happy before it meant, how you doing, right? We're the pride float. It's supposed to be a happy time, dummy. Like, what are you doing? Keiarna is mad that once again, her attempt to be relevant has fallen flat. When they all are talking, Monique is talking to them and she's like, yeah, I need y'all to know I'm so over Chris. Y'all don't have to tell me about who he slept with or dealt with after me. The sex wasn't that good. The relationship wasn't that great. In fact, half of the reason why I stayed with him this long is because I was so busy fighting you hoes. I didn't have time to realize that my marriage was on some bullshit. So fighting y'all actually probably added a couple extra years to my marriage. They all laugh. The next thing you know, here comes Cookie trying to be relevant because, you get a check whenever you make an appearance. So maybe her mortgage was due. Actually, what am I saying mortgage? Her rent. Maybe Cookie's rent was due. Cookie goes to Keiarna and the girls, the Mean Girls, and says, yo, I talked to Chris Samuels, and he said that right after we all talked with Monique, Stacey ran back to him and told him that she was talking about how bad his sex was. And once again, Keiarna gives a fuck about something that has nothing to do with her. And she decides that when we all go to Giselle's party tomorrow, I'm going to make it my business to attack Stacey for allegedly talking to a man who I'm not cool with and have never met about their relationship because he was once married to a woman that she has no allegiance to. You see how Keiarna thinking that she wants to fight Stacey because Stacey is talking to Chris. That makes no sense. You're not friends with Monique. You're not friends with Chris. You're not friends with Stacey. Why do you care? Once again, I don't understand why you're here. And so Keiarna thinks, well, Ashley doesn't like Stacey. Giselle's just always looking for a good fight so she can get her check and pay for her daughter's tuition. And I'm just a messy bitch and miserable. And who's the other girl? Angel. Was Angel there? If Angel was there, she's so forgettable. I forgot. So she's thinking, oh, me and Giselle and Ashley are gonna jump Stacey at this event. Stacey's from Detroit. Don't get it fucked up. Stacey was Thanos. Okay? Stacey is Thanos. And I fucking stand. And Stacey, they could never make me hate you. You would have to kick a baby steal. Like, you would literally have to kick a baby steal and maybe steal money from a charity for me to hate you, Stacey. Because at this point, you are I can't even say the word. You are iconic and you have to come back. And there's a reason why whenever you go on Andy's show, you could tell he's aroused by your nuttiness. Andy Cohen is he's aroused by people like Stacey. People who are the right blend of nuts. Chef's kiss to whoever cast this girl. So let's watch Stacey pretty much mollywop a room full of hoes. And by room full of hoes, I just mean Keiarna and Cookie. While Greg is in the corner sipping a drink like a bad bitch watching his girlfriend get clowned. Let's watch. It's fun, okay? For those who don't watch the show, did I catch you up? Is everybody clear about what to watch? Because I always want to make sure that everybody, not y'all call her Cookie Crumble and Shortbread Cookie. I mean, I guess that's nicer than Long Titty Cookie. All right, let's watch this masterpiece of You Got Me Fucked Up, I'm from Detroit, ho. If you're from Detroit, you should be proud about this whole segment we're about to watch right now.
Card never declined. Performance on the show declined. The drama with Wendy falling flat, her relationship with Greg not carrying her personal storyline.
Never trust you around my husband. You don't have one.
When she said, because you and Chris Samuels are friends, I would never trust you around my husband. Mind you, Chris Samuels is someone that Stacey knows, but Stacey does not know Monique Samuels. So why would you not trust me around your husband when I'm dating a man whose ex I don't know? The logic is wild. The logic keeps chasing them down, but these hoes are quicker, right? So she says, I would never trust you around my husband. And Stacey says, you don't have a husband. Who am I chasing? Greg? Who am I chasing? What husband? Wherefore art thou, husband? I love it here.
And now inserting herself into the Stacey, Monique, and Chris Samuels stuff, like, it has nothing to do with you. Like, I'm glad that you have found your voice this season, but as far as Keiarna's performance, like, it is falling flat for me, unfortunately. I can give her some kudos for at least engaging into the drama this season, but as far as what is happening, it seems to not really involve.
Not touched by an angel. What's wrong with y'all? Am I to blame? Is this the environment that I've created? Not. Rest in peace, Delarice. Oh, my levins.
Of her, and she keeps inserting herself into it. As far as Stacey goes, we still stand the QVC queen here. Her ability to be able to take on.
Oh, Stacey's crazy ass works at QVC, and she's exceptional. I want to find when she's going to be on so I can just buy something from her as a love offering.
On all these women coming at her and still stand there and be graceful and still take it and still be able to read them. Like,
Talk about length, talk about drama, talk about stones, talk about comfort, so lightweight.
and then Stacey pointing at Cookie, like, Cookie got riled up the minute she saw that finger point at her. Someone needs to get her away from Stacey because it doesn't look like she's able to handle herself in these situations.
As someone who speaks with proper diction who was still mollywop a bitch, I've never felt closer to Stacey than I did in this moment. Before I came on here this year and started reminding y'all that I know how to fight, I used to love when people would think because I speak the way that I speak that I don't know how to do what needs to be done. And when I recognized that in Stacey, I think I had a little bit of a lady boner. I'm not even gonna lie. Should have roused me a little bit.
When it comes to these allegations that Stacey supposedly allegedly called Chris Samuels and told him that Monique was talking bad about him, yeah, I'm gonna need to see some proof because there is no way that I'm going to take Cookie's word for it now. She is an enemy of Stacey and she is an enemy of Monique. I do not trust her.
Please. She's an enemy of the state at this point. Somebody needs to. Oh, Cookie, I'm sad for you. I want more for you.
Please tell me you are just as obsessed with Stacey as I am.
I am.
I'm really not sure why Keiarna keeps trying to take a go at Stacey about this Chris Samuels thing.
Who'll be here?
Don't point your finger at me.
Calm down,
For those who haven't seen it, we're gonna play this over and over again because this moment is so good. She's arguing with Keiarna, like, Keiarna, what is your issue, bitch? Like, you're not Monique Samuels. Monique Samuels doesn't care that I used to date her husband. Why are you so pressed? They're going back and forth. And she's like, wait, did you hear the shit from Cookie? And she points to Cookie. And Cookie says, don't point your finger at me. You told Harpo to beat me. And Stacey's like, bitch, not only did I point your finger. Oh, no. Is that another finger? Here you go, ho. And she pointed her finger again. Like, yeah, I pointed my finger at you. Now what? What's going to happen? Oh, I stand.
Point your finger at me one more time.
Here it is.
She said, point your finger at me one more time. Here it is, bitch. It's a whole finger. Now what? What's going to happen? At this point, I did start to cackle. Stacey is an Aries. I was going to give a long speech, but I feel like that one said, Stacey is an Aries. As a Aries Taurus cusp, if you tell me not to point my finger at you, you're going to be sniffing my nail within a nanosecond. Now what? So I hate to say it. I don't mean to sound rude, but Cookie was begging for it. You understand me? Don't point your finger at me. Or what? Or what, Cookie?
For 1 second, let that QVC voice fool you. Stacey is from Detroit.
Let me go over here. So I can let my
always do one when I come around because I come with Detroit.
Stacey said, excuse me, Giselle, let me get closer so I can point my finger a little bit better. She moved Giselle D. Bryant aside to get closer to Cookie. Okay. It's a Mercury retrograde. Let me have this, okay? A little bit of violence. Just sprinkle a little bit of violence on the EQ. Oh, honey, we could do this even closer. Maybe you need to get close enough to smell my hot breath. Right? Maybe you need to smell that hot breath y'all be talking about so much. Fuck you. What's up?
I can point my finger where I want.
Stacey said, let me get a little bit closer to you so you can see my finger in your face.
Stacey, don't do that.
You need to go take a bath with your funky ass.
You need to go take a bath with your funky ass. Cookie, you saying that while sounding like you haven't spit after brushing your teeth is wild. You need to go take a bath with... Bitch, let me stop. I heard it. I keep forgetting this is not a members only. I've been doing so many members only lives. I keep forgetting this is the main page. If you haven't become a member, please do so. We're trying to get to 1,000 members by Christmas. Okay, I love you. Okay, so yes. Where were we? Yes, you better get away from me with that funky ass. Is where we were at with Cookie.
Sometimes you say it, it doesn't mean that it's true.
Guess what? It ain't she said true since you've been in this goddamn room.
The only time you get heated, baby, is when it's about me. Usually you're at a 0.
She said the only time you get heated is when it's about me. Usually you're at a 0. Now she called you blank chicken number 2. Ooh.
Today you maybe took it to a 2.
Stacey said, Kay, you're normally giving us 0, but if it has to do with me, look at you pump up to a 2. You're welcome.
Yes, Midson, I just realized that I need to chill. I keep forgetting this is the main page. So I'm going to actually be demure for the rest of this live. Not dark skin blue as well. Y'all keep playing with me. The newbies don't know what y'all are saying, but y'all keep playing with me. It's fine.
So happy to see you, boo.
Your character's flawed, Stacey. Your character's flawed.
Your character is flawed, Stacey. You're talking about character? Sexy Eeyore is talking about character. You know whose character is flawed? That man-child who doesn't want to wife you. Who embarrassed you on national television. That's whose character is flawed.
I never trust you around my husband.
You don't have one.
Kay said, I would never trust you around my husband. Stacey says, no problem, because you don't have one.
Let's talk about Housewives of Potomac. When Keiarna said to Stacey, I would not want you around my husband. And Stacey replied, you don't have a husband. This is something that we see so often, right? When women start referring to the idea of a man to be their husband, right? Because Greg has basically put into Keiarna's head that she is his wife, but not really his
Let me find a picture of Greg. Let me find a picture.
wife. Or she had, I don't know if he put that in her head or she's put that into her head. Like, that's what she wants to be. So that's how she looks at her situation. So let me not put this all on Greg, because I feel like Greg has made his boundaries and Keiarna is just making whatever up in her head. But a lot of times women treat men as if they're their husbands, and a man may treat a woman as if they're their wife. But without that paperwork, baby, it is not true.
Something that's not getting a bunch of attention right now is when Kay and Stacey were arguing. Kay looked at Stacey's ring and was like, that cloudy ass ring. And Stacey was like, compared to what? Nothing. And then poked Kay. She poked her, was like, compared to nothing.
What do you have going on?
I have a husband and a ring.
Okay.
And you don't.
Okay, and I
Still
don't want
waiting
that, but
on
it's
that.
cloudier than a mother.
Is it? Oh, really? Well, that is probably cloudy compared to nothing.
And then Kay said something else irrelevant. And then
said, my ring is cloudy. What does your ring look like? Oh, you don't have one. You don't have one. My real ring is cloudy, but is it as cloudy as your imaginary one? Is my real ring as cloudy as the one that you don't possess? Because you keep on using male validation as a marker, but you're failing by your own metrics, ho. Make it make sense. That's what I heard. I'm gonna put Greg on the screen real quick. Just to give everybody a visual for those who don't know who Greg is. This is Greg. Oh shit, the light is cascading his titties. I didn't do that on purpose, I swear to God. But this is Greg. Just that's the nicest looking picture I could find of him because his eyes are kind of covered and he's sitting down. And so I picked the nicest. You see, look at me being nice. I picked the nicest picture of Greg I could find. There's a couple on here that would have been jokes. Okay. See, look at me behave. Now that Mitson has reminded me that this is not a members only live, I need to play this differently for the rest of it because I forgot. My bad.
he hit her with a 2-piece combo and said, go beg Greg. Go beg him. Go beg Greg. Stacey is so, she's coming at their necks, and I don't know where this came from, but I'm glad she's finally standing up for herself because these girls saw her as the weak link and thought, oh, she's an easy target. We're going to dogpile on her as they typically do for the new girls. You know, every season they pick one girl and just dogpile on her.
The way they whip the hell out of every newbie and to see them behave so demurely with Angel, it still blows my mind that somebody being treated this kindly is crying this much. I can't get over it.
For the whole season. So I'm glad that Stacey is giving their ass a run for their money because go beg Greg is funny as fuck.
Go run after Greg. Go back.
This is Greg. Why does the video keep ending at his titties? Let me stop.
You pay. Did you pay TJ? That's all. Did you pay TJ?
So somebody go ahead and give Stacey her baddie's chain.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give Stacey her baddie's chain because my girl ain't no, she ain't let nobody bully her. Come get it, Stacey. Come get it. Cause you carried this episode. My God, the queen you are. My God. Somebody get her baddie chain immediately.
Yep.
This lady said, you don't have one.
Oh my God, Greg's face really was like Greg was like, how I get in it? Embarrassing.
Lady said, don't point your finger at me. You said.
Shout out to Dustin. I was watching the episode today to do this live. And as I'm watching the episode, I go on Twitter because I had accidentally made my Twitter page private. So I go on my Twitter page to make it public, try to figure out which button I had accidentally pushed. And all I see on my page, mind you, I haven't gotten to this part yet, is Dustin posted a picture of a finger and a cookie. And everybody's cackling underneath it. I'm like, what is he referencing? And then I got to the scene and I said, Dustin, behave. That finger at Cookie is an iconic moment. I fear that Stacey has pretty much cemented her place in the Housewives Hall of Fame for the Fuck Around and Find Out Awards. The last time I saw a housewife that gagged me this shamelessly was Kenya Moore. I'm a face queen, and I'm sorry. Kenya Moore has one of the most beautiful faces that have ever graced any housewife franchise. Argue with your mother. No, for the person who's saying is Ike, who I said look like Dracula. Ike does not look like Dracula. And Ike is not 6'9". Ike is 6'1.5", child.
Stacey? I love you down. Oh my God. Woo! It was
Delicious.
exquisite.
Okay, so some people are still confused as to why we still like Stacey, even though she lies, yeah?
Yeah, Stacey's a pathological liar, but like in the best way. Stacey, and I think this might get mentioned in the video, but if it doesn't, I want to make sure I shout it out. Stacey is the person who will lie straight to the face of all her coworkers because she doesn't like them. She's like, I don't like you. I'm just say whatever I feel like. Hey, why didn't you come to work yesterday? Oh, my dog died. Whole time I'm just getting my hair braided. But I'm gonna say my dog died. I don't like you. I don't fuck with you, and I don't owe you anything. Stacey tells coworker lies. I think I tried to find a video that said that. I hope this is that video because my first thought was coworker lies are harmless and actually kind of reasonable. If I don't like you and I don't trust you and I don't fuck with you and you're being invasive and I keep on telling you to leave me alone and you won't, then bitch, I'm gonna just make some shit up. Now what? They don't harm anybody. All of Stacey's lies come down to mind your business, I'm doing me. Now, do I think it's weird that I will say this is one moment that Stacey did that was a little bit ticky boom, but only Wendy could get mad at her. Stacey was rumored to have heard about how much money Eddie Hennessy, aka Eddie Osefo, was making from Happy Eddie's gummies. And the word on the street was that Stacey was trying to get into the cannabis business because she was inspired by Eddie. As somebody who gets swagger jacked quite often, understandably, Eddie was like, that's kind of my hustle. They used to make fun of me and call me Happy Eddie. I turned it into a brand. So you stealing that concept on the show is kind of weird considering I was making lemonade out of lemons. Go off though. And then they find out that Stacey took an Ancestry.com test, found out she was like 17.5% Nigerian, and decided to name her Happy Eddie spinoff gummy line Shayor. Apparently, Stacey's saying, well, now that I found out that I have Nigerian heritage, no, you have Nigerian lineage. Heritage means you were actually involved actively, right? Heritage would mean that you actually took part in it and it wasn't just a blood test. By the way, guys, a blood test is not heritage. You actually have to actively involve for something to be heritage. It can be your lineage, it can be your bloodline, it could be your roots even, but culture is more active than that, right? And so she's like, well, I'm gonna name it Shayor because I'm a Nigerian princess now. She's nuts, guys. What did I tell you? The lady's nuts. And she was like, I picked it because it means joyous, and I'm joyous. She tells Wendy breaks the fourth wall and looks at the camera like, did this bitch just steal my husband's idea and then gave it a Nigerian name when my Nigerian heritage, my actual Nigerian heritage, is a huge part of my storyline? And then she says the thing that I didn't realize. This is why words have power and thesauruses can come in handy. Stacey keeps saying, I named it Shayor because Shayor is Yoruba for joy. Wendy said, Shayor also means happy, as in Happy Eddie, as in my husband whose idea you stole. Stacey, you're nuts. No, Stacey, you're crazy. Stacey, I love you and something is wrong with you, right? You stole Happy Eddie's idea and named it Happy in his tongue. The audacity on this lady is wild. I'm kind of here for it though. I stand. I hate that I stand, but she's the right kind of crazy.
Okay, let me break it down. I'll break it down for you. Don't worry. The reason why we still like Stacey, even though she lies, is because her lies are harmless. Okay? They are harmless lies. Like when she tells...
As a connoisseur, I do kind of want to try Stacey's gummies. Wendy, I love you, but I do want to try Stacey's gummies. I want to try Stacey's Happy Eddie spin-off gummies. I do.
Those lies, yeah, they're not lies that are like destroying families. Do you know what I mean? Like the kind of lies that Stacey tells are like the kind of lies you tell your coworkers. Do you know what I mean?
Wait, Shayor could also mean drunk. Oh, Stacey, this is brilliant. Stacey, this is brilliant. Are you serious? Does it also mean drunk? Ugh. I'm sorry, I stand. I'm sorry. Until she gives me a reason not to, I currently am still standing.
And let's be honest, who wants their colleagues in their business? Like, let's be so for real. This is the thing that we need to remember, yeah? Is that on this show, Potomac in particular, yeah? People have lied about way more dangerous,
more heinous things, okay?
Yeah.
Like, not to bring Giselle back into it, but if we remember the whole story around Giselle and Candace and her husband and that whole shebang,
Yeah.
that was a crazy lie. Do you get what I mean? When Mia
Giselle lied and tried to insinuate that somebody's husband was trying to SA her, assault her. Alleging that somebody's husband lured you into a hotel room with dastardly intentions is a very dangerous lie. It's actually a crime, right? So while Giselle got away with trying to accuse a man of a crime, Stacey calling her gummy line, happy drunk Eddie, I don't mind it.
is lying about how her business makes money and all this.
Yeah, it was Candace's husband that Giselle lied on.
Type of stuff. That is a crazy lie. When Phaedra and Portia were lying about Candy and the sprinkle in the drink.
Exactly. Another SA. When everybody's lying about assault or going to jail, do we understand why Stacey's lies feel funny to us? Because they're the tamest that we've seen the entire fucking franchise. We're not being messy. It's just that in a world full of illegal activity, shenanigans feels lightweight in comparison. Stacey's lies at this point feel wholesome in the ecosystem that she's in.
That was a dangerous lie. Stacey's just having fun.
Yeah.
Like, Stacey's not doing anything that is too harmful. Do you get what I mean? And she's freaking hilarious. Okay?
Yes.
So that, plus the fact that she's hilarious, plus the fact that she's just gathering these girls one by one, standing her ground, gathering the girlies. We have to stand, okay? So yeah, we don't care that Stacey lies, okay? We don't care. She's amongst people that already have bad character, okay? She's literally the best of a horrible bunch, okay?
Yep.
I feel like the only woman who was justified in being upset really was Tia, because
I love Tia. And I hate that Tia and Stacey had a moment. But what happened was Stacey said, Tia, I trust you. You're the only person I'm going to let meet my man. And when Tia was like, but I was hoping you and your boo could have dinner with me and my husband and Happy Eddie and Wendy. And Stacey was like, child, he's going to be on a plane. He's going to Timbuktu, and then he's going to Mars. And then he might go, ride a giraffe or something and a pterodactyl. So he can't make it. It was obviously, we don't want to go. Tia goes to the dinner and tells Wendy, hey, Stacey said that her husband couldn't make it, and I'm a little bit bummed about it. Wendy immediately calls Stacey like, Stacey, you and I are the closest ones. Like, I'm the closest person to you. Why didn't you want to have dinner with me and Eddie? We would have been happy to see you. And that's when Stacey says, you're right. I'm much closer to you than Tia. Tia, why are you starting shit? And Tia's like, how am I starting shit? You told me your husband was flying to Mars to go feed a pterodactyl and a giraffe. And Stacey was like, he's here right now. I just don't want to be there. I don't want to come. Well, Tia's like, well, how do you get mad at me? And they start arguing, and it's so sweet and silly. Like, it's such a silly thing to get mad about. So I really hope that Tia and Stacey clear it up, because Tia was just annoyed that Stacey lied to her. But again, this is the kind of shit that Stacey lies about.
now she's questioning her friendship with Stacey. It's very valid because honestly, I do feel that
Stacey be lying is not the new Mia be lying, only because Mia does dangerous lies. Mia is part of the dangerous lies group. Mia be lying about the paternity of her children. Lying about your kid's daddy is dangerous. Mia also likes to steal rent-a-center furniture and TVs off the walls of Airbnbs, and then sneaks off like a thief in the night and has to get arrested at airports. There's levels. I'm telling you, Stacey is level 1. She's entry-level lying.
Stacey and Timu should have just said flat out they did not want to go to the dinner because Timu is still not comfortable around the cameras and in group situations. Like at this point, the fourth wall has been broken so many times. Just say you don't want to go. Keiarna, face card never declined.
If we're talking about Monique.
So some young man was at his grandma's house and somehow, some way, ended up reenacting the whole Stacey and Cookie debacle and played all the parts like the clumps. As somebody who really enjoyed the Eddie Murphy documentary, Eddie Murphy is neurodivergent as fuck. The entire time I was watching the documentary, I looked at Bridget like, so he's one of us, right? She was like, yeah, he's definitely one of us. And then like a third of the way in, he admits that he's neurodivergent. And I was like, okay, that makes sense, because there's no way in hell that me and Eddie Murphy would have this much in common. The whole time Eddie Murphy was talking, I was like, but I be saying that, what's going on? Is he neurospicy? And he is. And it's so funny because over the summer, was it this summer or last summer? It might have been it was last summer because I was still getting over the weird friendship breakup and icky thing. And I had a rough year. And so we're hanging out with my friend Carlos. Some of you saw him on my old podcast, Fit Buddha. And Carlos and I are having a brunch at a spot that I found that I knew he was going to like because he loves French toast and they have amazing French toast. So Carlos comes and sits down. He's sitting across from me. Afion, y'all know Afion Crockett, the comedian. He sits down next to Carlos and Carlos's uncle. And this really sweet young man sits next to me. We're all talking X, Y, and Z. And the young man had a very quiet, stable, like chill energy, like the kind of guy that you instantly feel safe and would like be like, hey, can you walk me to my car? It's late at night, right? So I'm talking to all of them. I'm laughing. I'm kikiing X, Y, and Z. And I was about to make an Eddie Murphy joke because Afion was in the Beverly Hills Cop remake that Eddie did recently. Oh, yes, Flo, I'm so happy. I've always thought Eddie Murphy was really attractive, especially in his prime. I've always thought Eddie Murphy was an attractive man. So I was about to make an Eddie Murphy joke at the table because Afion was in the movie, and this is rare. Something said, Blue, don't make the joke. And I was like, well, that's weird. It would have been a funny joke, but okay, maybe, I won't make the joke. We're hanging out 3 weeks later. And now it's Afion's birthday. So this must have been August because Afion is a Leo. So it's Afion's birthday, and he has a birthday set. It was an amazing set. We were laughing the entire time. So many, Tony Parker was there. So many hilarious people were there. And Carlos works with Afion. And so he sits me in an area, and he was like, did you have fun at my birthday thing a couple of weeks ago? I was like, yeah, it was. No, was it a birthday thing? No, it was. I think it was his girlfriend's birthday thing. Carlos's birthday is a Cancer, so it was her birthday, not Carlos's. So he's like, hey, did you have fun at that thing? I was like, yeah, Carlos. Afion was funny. Your uncle is hilarious. And that guy that was sitting next to me, because it was Afion and his uncle and Carlos on one end and me and the sweet guy on the other end. I was like, that guy was so fucking funny and so cool and so chill. Like, I love that you're a good man and you surround yourself with other good men. And Carlos starts smirking. And I know when my friends smirk like that, it's because I don't know who I'm sitting next to. And I'm just talking to him like a regular person. He said, Blue, you don't know who that is? I said, no. Who was it? He was like, Blue, you spent the entire afternoon hanging out with Eddie Murphy's son. And you had no idea. I said, what? Eddie Murphy's son, the one who's engaged to Martin's daughter, was the young man sitting next to me. Why am I sharing this? The fact that Eddie Murphy raised a young man who, without me knowing, was that much of a green flag. When I think someone is brilliant artistically, and I find out that they're also a good father. Eddie Murphy is a good man who has raised a good man. And I'm saying that before I even knew that who his father was. You see what I'm saying? And it's those moments that make my awe of someone skyrocket. Because I remember saying to him, I was like, this is why I think Carlos Brown laughed. I was like, yo, you're a good dude. Like, somebody raised you right. And he smirked. I looked Eddie Murphy's son in the face and said, you're a good dude. Somebody raised you right. And he's probably like, oh my God, this bitch has no idea who I am. So shout out to Eddie. If you have not seen the Eddie Murphy documentary, if you loved him before, you'll love him even more now. And the fact that he's a neurodivergent person in Hollywood who, because he was not a part of it, he could be in the room without being swayed by the room, I completely feel kindred to that. In a weird way, being neurodiverse in this ecosystem, it creates problems sometimes because you can't always read the room, but it also shields you from drowning in the room. All right. Anyways, guys, let's watch this skit. It's enough of a story time. I keep forgetting this is not the Members Only Live. Let's watch this reenactment. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because when I saw this reenactment, it was very Eddie Murphy playing all the parts in the Clumps-esque. And I love that, to me, this is part of Eddie's legacy. This sort of comedy and brilliance is part of Eddie Murphy's legacy. If I haven't watched the documentary, please do. Please watch it. It's excellent.
I think it's only right for Monique to be here.
Not the finger. The fact that this finger has already become iconic in 48 hours.
Don't point your finger at me.
Calm down,
First of all, he went like this because Stacey do be trying to fix her stiff ass wig.
Look at me one more time. Here it is. Let me go over here so I can wipe my face. Always be right when I come around.
Not you feel like you're collecting blue lore like infinity stones these days. Should I stop sharing? Y'all told me y'all wanted me to share. You know I take shit literally. I'm autistic. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Y'all said y'all wanted me to share, so I be sharing.
Because I come over here, so I can point my finger where I want. Stacey, don't do that. You need to go take a bag with your funky ass.
I'm calm. Monique's talking about getting to a
Not them escorting her out. Wait a minute, not them escorting.
good space of co-parenting for her ex-husband.
No matter how many times you say it, it doesn't mean that it's true.
Guess what? It ain't you said true since you've been in this goddamn room.
The only time you get heated, baby, is when it's about me. Usually you're at a 0. Today you maybe took it to a 2.
How did he memorize this dialogue? This episode just came out on Sunday. There is so much talent on social media.
So happy to see you, boo.
Your character's flawed, Stacey. Your character's flawed. I never trust you around my husband.
You don't have one.
Oh, you don't have one. Yes, even the shirts. Even the shirts. Like the commitment that he had to this. Within 24 hours of it happening. Brilliant. For those who are asking, is Eddie autistic? No, I think he's OCD, which is a form of neurodivergence. OCD, dyslexia, anxiety, having a high IQ is neurodivergent because your brain is not supposed to function that high. Autism, ADHD, there's a whole list of neurodiverse things, and so he's neurodivergent, but not autistic. Although I can only count when people diagnose, but I also know when I see my kindred. I'll just say that. All right, guys. This live was 3 hours. Fuck. I said this was going to be 90 minutes. I keep trying to do a live that is under 2 hours. And why do I keep on ending the 3 hour mark? It's y'all's fault. This is y'all's fault. This was supposed to be a quick live. Anyways, guys, now that I know that it's been 3 hours, I have surgery tomorrow. I hope it goes well. Send me good juju because I'm really nervous about surgery, but I'm really happy that I can afford dental care in this economy. And yeah, guys, the next time you guys hear from me will be either Friday or Saturday, depending on how quickly I heal. Please have a great Thanksgiving. If there's any way that I can do some content to pre-record and post, I will. If not, I will see you guys this weekend. I love y'all much. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, because I'm finding out about 70% of you who come here regularly still haven't subscribed. What are you doing? Please subscribe so other people can find me and our family can get bigger and still stay safe. If you're not a member, you already know I have a goal. I don't ask for much, and closed mouths don't get fed, and I don't plan to go hungry. Okay, so gobble gobble. If you can spend $10 on renting a movie on Amazon, please consider becoming a member, because as I keep on saying, mother has bills to pay, and also I do a lot of free labor. It'd be nice to get a kickback. All right, I love y'all so much. Yes, please like the live, y'all. Please like the live. And for those of you who were part of the tarot workshop, the how to read tarot cards workshop, part 1 went up on pay-per-view. I have to take part 2 down tonight, so I hope you got a chance to see it. And I will be sharing the pay-per-view link so you can purchase it on Patreon where it's safe. And also, too, guys, there's a new segment that we have. Members, don't share it. Yes, let's get to 1,000 members. There's a new segment that I announced to the members only that I'm hoping I can debut before the end of the year. So members, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, that new segment that involved me sharing my email because I trusted y'all. That new segment, please keep sending those emails so that we can go live with that segment, hopefully before the new year. I love y'all. Oh, you like part 2 of the tarot class? It was so good, right? That tarot class low-key felt like Bible study meets group therapy. It almost felt like the tarot cards were an excuse for us to like have some really amazing conversations. So I'm happy you guys like enjoyed it. I knew I was going to enjoy tarot class, but I didn't realize it was going to get that deep and be that dope. So shout out to the members. All right, guys, I really have to go now because I'm getting sleepy and I have to wash all this makeup off my face. I love y'all to pieces. Bye, family.